and has qualified नेट JRF with ऑल इंडिया रैंक 41।
या
जे केमिस्ट्री से मैंने कोचिंग किया था। तो
कहाँ से?
जे केमिस्ट्री मैडम है ना, ज्योति राठी।
ज्योति, हाँ ज्योति राठिया।
ओके ओके।
सर मेरा ये सवाल है कि जैसे आपके 300 मार्क्स है, नियरली आपके 300 मार्क्स है, 300 ही रहते हैं। तो
या
जो 300 नंबर होते हैं कि सर, इज हिंदी फाइन और शुड आई स्पीक इन टू इंग्लिश?
नो नो, इट्स फाइन, हिंदी इज फाइन।
Okay, sir. I'll try it. Sir, if I have to score 300, is that possible from easy questions? Like there are certain questions which, how much you prepare, but still you are not able to solve on D day.
Yeah, understood,
So
understood.
is that possible that you can score 300 from easy questions only in chemistry optional?
So, see, 300, 300 is like you do everything correct on the day. 300, see, to be very fair na, and honest, 300 is not in our hands. Okay. Even if you do not just the easy questions, also the questions which are difficult. Sometimes we do commit certain errors like calculation errors or even choosing the wrong question. Some things happen. So for 300, easy questions is not enough. You have to go beyond. You have to go beyond means here. See, we have to solve some questions within the exam hall, even if you don't know them priorly. Okay. And second thing is, see, there is a difference between 240 and 300. There is a difference between 240 and 270, and there is a difference between 270 and 300. So if your preparation is very good, you have solved all the previous year questions, you have solved, you have done very well, revised your notes, everything, then you can expect score up to 270. But 300 is like, see, according to my view, I'm not very sure that it applies to everyone, but still, what I feel is you have to solve some questions within the exam hall which you haven't solved till then. Okay. And other than that, you shouldn't commit any error mostly. I mean, like, errors means no calculation errors. Most of the question choices should be wrong, should be right. Question choices might vary here and there because some people might be strong in some areas and some people may not be strong in some areas. But that's also fine. So, but 300 is something. See, it also depends on year. Sometimes in some years the highest score go beyond 300. But in 2023, I mean like CSE 2022, 300, more than 300 they didn't give any number. But in 2020, for CSE 2024, they gave, I mean like I think CSE 2023 they gave more than 300. So it also depends upon the year. I think this year, even if you do two to three errors on a whole, you can still score 300. But on a what I want to specify is like easy questions are only to bring you till 240.
Sir,
You
I
need
should.
you
Sorry to.
need to put much more efforts. And
Sir,
see, one thing is na, you can't score easily in other optionals. That you should recognize. Once you
right.
start scoring in chemistry, your scoring will be good. But at the same time, there are certain risks. Even if you commit single error, there are 20 marker questions. There are, if you commit error in two 15 marker question or 120 marker question, your score will drop from 280 to 260. So the one thing that I want to specify is you should be very, very careful in the exam. First thing. And second thing, you should go beyond your comfort zone. You should try to remember some things like that. See, the overall approach we will discuss across this session. Okay, it can't be summarized in one question. And when everyone starts and Rahul sir says, we will gradually take one thing after other. You are saying something, Shreya, please.
Sir, actually, my easy questions thing is that I have decided to do 30-year previous year questions, and जैसे जो जनरली टॉपर्स वगैरह जो ये जो बुक्स लिख देते हैं
No.
कि जब मोहन से क्वेश्चंस प्रैक्टिस कर लिए, कलसी से क्वेश्चंस प्रैक्टिस कर लिए, या निमाई तिवारी से कर लिया, तो आई
Yeah.
हैव डिसाइडेड दैट आई विल बी डूइंग दिस मच एटलीस्ट, and DICE test series of 3 years at least I will be writing question answers,
Okay.
because testing gives me
Yeah.
motivation, क्योंकि कम मार्क्स आएंगे तो I will be motivated to study more and.
Shreya, what I feel is like we will discuss these things at the end. I mean, like you ask the same question again because if it's not addressed within the session, I will take the question once again.
सॉरी सर, एक्चुअली ना आई हैव टू गो फॉर डिनर, एक्चुअली माय दादी इज बेड रिडन, तो मैं पहले आपको बिल्कुल नहीं मैं फोर्स करती, जस्ट इन वन
Yeah, yeah,
लाइन.
yeah, I understood. See, two to three things that I want to tell you specifically is See, if you are thorough with the previous year questions, your preparation is very, very good. Okay. Thorough in sense, if the question comes even in an altered form this year, you should be able to do it. Okay. And second thing, see, what is the preparation mostly rests upon how good you are in previous year questions and how well you are managing the theoretical part. Okay. Theoretical part in means, see, some questions come from electrochemistry in paper one or kinetics, chemical kinetics and all. These are proper theories. I mean, collision theory, like some theory based, and some also you have to. It's not numerical. You understand, right? Not numerical,
Yes, sir.
not inorganic questions in paper one.
Yes, sir.
These questions should be written very well because there is no scope of cutting the marks in these questions. Okay,
Okay.
even in numerical, he can see that okay, he can do these more steps, but that is the same content in every book. You can't cut it anyway, right? But mostly the questions are repeated only. Okay, if you do the last 30 years, it is very good. But the thing is whether you are able to revise them or not. That is very, very important. See, the thing is, I don't. Did you write any mains till now?
No, sir. I have written Punjab means this time.
Okay. Okay. I don't know how the paper pattern in Punjab means, but all I wanted to say is, see, we need certain things like short notes at the end to revise, and you need to have so much confidence upon your calculation in paper one specifically, because calculations will reduce your marks like 2 to 3 marks in one question, or sometimes they don't even give. So there are certain aspects that you should particularly focus upon to see that you are you do not commit errors and you are always going ahead. I mean, like you are going beyond some questions, going beyond in some questions which very less people attempt. Okay, so that happens with previous year questions, but the thoroughness and less mistakes is more important in this case. So I
Okay.
understood, if you are doing 30-year questions and you are thorough with them, you understand that thorough with them means if it comes, see, one question from 2011, it came in 2020, I think so. One of our so we used to prepare together, me and there is another sir, Sudhir sir. Sudhir sir is currently in West Bengal IS. So he remembered that question like anything. I mean, he knows that question. Okay, so that's how some people do the previous year questions. It's not like rote. You need, because if something you have done in the past and you understand that question thoroughly, you can easily recognize it. And specifically in spectroscopy and all, these things work. These things help us a lot. दे डोंट
Yes.
चेंज लॉट यार, मतलब बहुत कम चेंज करता है. अगर उसने कंपाउंड एक कंपाउंड देख के दूसरा कंपाउंड वो बोलता है ना, मतलब एक कंपाउंड देखा उसने बोला कि इसमें कुछ गलत है, you should recognize that. Okay, there
Yes.
may be an extra carbon bond, there may be an extra something. Okay, the same question might have been given some years before. If you do that thoroughly na, this is easy. Otherwise you will think that what big mistake he might have committed, then you will get the confidence like okay, he will commit only minor errors, you should just look into them. Okay, Shreya, what I feel is like, I think the session is recorded. You take the,
Mhm.
you
Yes, sir.
later go
I'll
through the,
We
just.
will we
Yeah.
will now we will structure the whole session in the
yeah,
question
second
answer
session.
format. Okay,
And you see whatever
and
is
at the
important for
last,
you, go through them.
yeah,
Yeah.
at the last we will take personal questions, each of you. Okay.
And you just write the question and leave if at all you have some other
Okay,
questions.
sir. Well,
Because
sir.
If you
other
have certain
questions,
specific question, then do drop in the chat section.
yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So shall we start, sir? No?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay.
I have shared the question with yourself. Can
Yes.
you just start with the brief background, from where do you belong and where do you have done your BTech and everything? Then we will
Yes.
start.
So hello everybody. First of all, sorry for changing the timing because my training schedule got a little altered, so that's why I have to change the timing. Even sir, Shahin sir, see, sir, Rahul sir and Shahin sir are like, these are like helped me a lot in my preparation. Rahul sir gave me the important, I mean, made me understand the importance of how to write answers. I mean, like in chemistry, I never thought. See, I graduated from IIT Bombay. I worked for some time. I started preparation after resigning my job. So we thought that chemistry, just we will write just question and answer just like we wrote in I mean plus one plus two. But there is a way to write chemistry answers, and that Rahul sir helped me understand it. And even uh, his test series, it's very elaborate, and some one question came directly from his test series. I mean, like that is that. See, why I'm specifying one question is we can guess many questions. We know that Bragg's law will come, or in coordination chemistry, some questions will come. But there are some questions which we can't expect. if that question is in the test series, na, that requires significant amount of efforts from him, and also he understood the pattern. I mean, like how things are working, how questions are being asked, and all things. And Shine sir, I don't want to call him sir because he's a good friend of mine. And
Yeah.
Shine
Yeah,
sir,
please call me Shaheen. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a teacher or you, so I was also friend,
but
friend only. So you can call me
Shine
Shaheen itself.
is Shine, you are
Shahid is like a godfather.
see, see, I mean, like it's around 2019, 2019, 2020. We don't have any material available. We don't have the previous year question answers other than RK sir notes RK sir notes of previous year questions. And there are some things which need to be looked into. I mean, like we need to recheck some of the things. And then Shahin, who made I mean, like he made like 5 to 6 years of previous year questions available, and that with such thoroughness. Now, I think most of you people are going through some of the previous year questions and solutions he made only. And he made us understand. I mean, like we understood, okay, this is taken from this reference book. He segregated all the sources. He made previous year questions compilation of 5 to 6 years, and that too with much thoroughness.
He tracked down all the sources.
And because of him only, we got a lot of help actually.
Yeah.
Because of him, there is a chemistry group in Telegram because of Shine actually.
Because yeah.
Because of Shine only. That's for sure. Okay. And regarding myself, see, I
Even
started.
Bhargav,
Yes,
me
sir.
and Sain became friends through PYQ solutions only.
Previous year solutions.
We
Because
used to solve PYQ and structure it.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
at that point of time, whoever has the previous year question answers, no, he has a lot of advantage. We
Yeah.
don't have that advantage in the beginning. These people make
Mhm.
us. See, I solved some questions. I tried to solve many questions, but Shine's answers gave us much better perspective.
Mhm.
And even he made sure that he segregated all the sources. He kept in a drive and made sure that we have access to those resource. I mean, like the reference books and all. Okay.
Mhm.
And regarding myself, see, I'm from Andhra Pradesh. I studied in IIT Bombay, graduated, and then went to a job. I understood that uh, I'm I want to pursue civil services as a career. So, and chemistry as an optional. I didn't have interest before joining UPSC civil services. I didn't think of even chemistry as an optional, but some of our seniors suggested that you should look into it, the syllabus and all. Initially, I thought it's easy because when I saw the one of the previous year question, there are questions from solid state thermodynamics. I thought, okay, it can be done. Not all thermodynamics questions. Okay, thermodynamics is a very tough topic. I understand. So then gradually I understood that it is becoming tough when we are getting into preparation. It is very, very tough. And the large scale of chemistry makes us forget even those easy topics. Okay, that brings much more toughness into the examination. But the thing is, after you do some revisions, now you understand that it can be doable, and it can be doable with much better understanding, and you can even score better. So when I understood this is after solving previous year questions. See, what happened is during the COVID break, I did 2 months. I only did one thing. I just solved all the previous year questions. Entire day I'm solving the questions. Other than 2 to 3 hours, because nothing is happening during the time. I solved the entire previous year questions. And at the end of the day, I used to ask some of the friends whom I made in MSc chemistry that how to do these things because we don't have answers for those. That's before Shine made the previous year question solutions.
Mhm.
So that 2 to 3 months, na, continuously doing those things. This is for those people who are not attempting mains this year. Only this point, other points will make it only for main specifics, most of it. So that 2 to 3 months, na, continuously solving. Even if I know the mechanism, I used to write it again. So that gradually improved my understanding. And after that, I started connecting the dots. Even in pericyclic and photochemistry, I can easily understand the question. That's the level to which I practiced them. I did all the questions from Jagadamba Singh and after the previous year questions. I tried to cover as much as possible. So that's the point where, like after solving all the previous year questions, thoroughly making short notes, and then this test series. These three things, one after other, made me score 300. See, in my first mains, it is 225, and the second mains, 256. And then my score was never, like in the top. Like always 300, 294. My score was very good from then. So that's the point. Previous year questions is the most important aspect in the examination. if you have done it before prelims, that is fine. That will definitely help you. Even if you haven't done before prelims, you take help of the solutions that are already available and make use of them. Okay. I think introduction exceeded some things.
Yeah.
Sir, I think you should guide, sir. I mean, like, what should we do? Discuss first, second.
Okay.
One after
I
another.
will just steer the whole conversation, okay, in a particular way. The first thing मैं थोड़ा summarize यहाँ कर दूं कि
Yeah.
PYQ is the center point,
Yeah, PVQ is the center point.
and then comes the offshoot like test series.
Yes, sir.
And test series is meant for the structuring the revision process and making the short notes with the test series schedule.
Yeah.
That's the best way.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, you will go haywire. There will be no structure to the preparation. So
Okay.
structure to the preparation is very important part. And one more thing, PYQ करना और उसको मास्टर करना दो अलग चीजें हैं.
Yeah.
Sometimes people used to do कि एक बार कर लिया, दो बार कर लिया, that's enough. And PYQ ऐसा होना चाहिए कि कम से कम 5-6 times same PYQ you have to write and you have to improve every time. There is always a possibility of value addition.
Yes, sir.
And in the exam scenario, value addition should become your habit.
Yes, sir.
It should be instantaneous. Then and there, it becomes your habit. तो chemistry ले रहे हो आप, physics ले रहे हो या mathematics ले रहे हो, science optional आप जब भी ले रहे हो, तो it should be in your muscle memory also, not in the mind only. It should be in your muscle memory, and
So
it
then
comes
I'll
only
do-
with the practice.
So then I will do one thing. I will discuss just regarding the PYQs ones.
Yeah.
So specifically with
How just tailor it down with the how you manage the PYQ, and what are the layers that you have approached to master the PYQ.
So firstly, with respect to PYQs, what I did is, see, keep the solutions along with you and solve every question as a new question. Don't look into solutions first and foremost. So what I did is, I solved everything. I'm like, every question from top to bottom. I'm like, including the introduction of the question, the answer, everything. Why I am doing this is, see, at the end of the day, we are preparing for an exam, and the exam day preparation is very, very important. On the exam day, however we solve it, we have to solve in the same manner multiple times. During revisions, you can cut short. I mean, like, you just calculate and leave it. But when you are solving the previous year questions, you should do it thoroughly. At least in the mind thoroughly. I mean, like, write every step, understand what you are writing in the examination. Okay. So what I did is, like, I took I mean, like, we have a small booklet, right? Previous year questions of chemistry. So in that writing, I started at 2004. I mean, like, from 2004 to 2022. I solved 2021. I solved every question as much as possible. Organic chemistry specifically, and what I did is, like, that's too much of work at the time. Don't need to do all that because now many PDFs are available. I segregated the questions first based on every topic, and then I solved them, and again I solved them actually 2 times. I mean, like, complete thoroughly every question 2 times. And after that, I used to refer the books before the examination. Even during last mains, I appeared in the last mains. The books that I don't miss to refer is, even for like 2 to 3 times, is previous year question answers only. So, and in addition to this, I have to make you understand why PYQs are important other than just repetition of the questions. So I have a friend of mine who is also in service. So we wrote together. I mean, like, in 2022, we appeared together. There is a question. You can refer that 2022 2B question. That is from atomic structure only. The question is easy, but he's very good. He scored chemistry very good. He's a very good scorer in chemistry. But the thing is, like, he didn't understand that question doesn't have too much complications because he didn't see how PYQs are being framed. PYQs are not just to solve. You need to understand how the question is being framed by the examiner. See, the test series questions, or even like, most of the questions that author give are directly from the mini test series. I mean, like, sorry, from the reference books. But the examiners refer a particular reference books, and the way of framing the question is different. That also need to be understood. It's not just in GS, even in chemistry also, the way questions are being framed need to be understood. Because sometimes, even if it is an easier question, we spend a lot of time in examination just to decode the question. When you are very much thorough with the previous year questions, I mean, like, with this kind of depth, you can easily understand the question. That saves a lot of time. Okay. So the thing is solving the previous year questions along with the reference answers you have, and then revising them thoroughly is, if possible. See, for those who are writing mains this year, try to at least solve them roughly. I mean, like two times. I mean, like I would definitely say 2 times. Keep solving in your mind. Just go through the questions. Try to become so spontaneous that you can easily identify which reaction it is, even if it is a photochemical. I mean, like even if it is a question from photochemistry or pericyclic. These questions are take some time. No? So that's why I'm saying multiple times. If you are going through these questions, no, you can easily decode them in the examination. And the success in chemistry lies in spontaneously understanding which topic or which reaction or which rearrangement it is. That is very, very important. And previous year questions are the closest, I mean, like practice questions you have. No, nothing, no reference book is more closer than previous. And other than that, one more thing. And one more thing for those who are attempting this year and you have already given like 1 attempt or 2 attempts. See, now you can channelize your preparation also like this. You start with previous year questions only directly. You take one paper, 2022 or 2023 paper or 2024 paper. You keep solving the questions, and whatever questions you are not comfortable with, read them. If you do this for 5 years now, I think your entire syllabus will be completed mostly. I mean, like most of the basic questions which are repeated will be completed. So I will make you clear this time. So take a paper. I mean, like let's say you start with CSE 2025. You keep solving all the questions. You don't take topic wise, just the entire paper for 18 to 5, 40 questions or whatever the number is. Solve all the questions. And in between, if you got it out, for example, if you got it out in some of the chemical kinetics question, you just go into that topic and then read it and again get back to the paper only. If you do this for 5 years, now your most of the revision will be completed. So now, if you think that till results what you want to do, you can do this thing. You will understand what are the questions that are being repeated, and next time when you are even reading your notes, now you will be more specific and you will be more attentive in these questions. That is very, very important, because previous year questions will help us understand which are the topics that will be repeated for sure, and in those topics we can't afford to do any mistake. See, most of the scoring, Shreya asked in the beginning that whether we can score good marks with previous year questions and some of the reference books which we standardly refer. The thing is, we can definitely score very good score. But the thing is, if we do any mistake in the repeated questions, it would be very difficult. It is just like prelims. In the prelims, if you commit an error in repeated questions or easy questions, you have to solve one question which is based on, I mean, like elimination techniques, which is risky in nature. Or you have to have some explicit knowledge which others do not have. Then only you can move forward. It's all relative at the end of the day. You need to score better than others. That is very, very important. Forget about whatever the scaling and all. I don't know. I mean, like I never refer to those things. I always thought of putting myself the best attempt in the examination. Not every time it happens, but that should be your only aim. Don't think of any other things. If you're really thorough and your attempt is good, you can definitely score. And one more thing regarding previous year questions is, before the examination, I mean, like just before going to the examination, the last 7 days also, try to just keep going through those questions. You should have those questions in your mind. And from PYQs, you need to even have value addition in your notes. There are certain questions, previous year questions, which are directly from the named reactions. You can understand, okay, this is a named reaction, this is a whatever the named reaction is. But there are certain reactions which are kind of exceptions. You add them in your notes. Even if you don't have, what I did is, I put the even mechanism and the, I mean, like exception reaction in that particular named reaction or rearrangement. I put that entirely in my notes. I attached it using some short notes and all, that sticky notes. I just keep attaching it. So what happens is, even the difficult questions or so-called exception questions which are being asked are in my notes, and I just go through them. When you have it in your notes now, it's easy, because sometimes the questions get repeated.
Yeah.
Even if you are attempting forest service this year, some questions these years some questions are being taken from CSC and they're asked in forest. I still remember, I mean, there are certain questions, I mean, like with respect to, I think, reaction mechanism or something like that, using isotope method, we to determine which carbon is this, which carbon is in the product, the carbon is from which functional group. So these questions are being repeated. Yes, someone is asking regarding forest PYQs. Forest PYQs are solved only during forest service examination, not during this. If you have time, you can go through them, but you should be very aware that whether it is in the syllabus or not. If it's not in the syllabus, don't
Yeah,
try.
there is some divergence between the syllabus, CSC and
The
the
way
forest.
that they ask the questions, no, it is also a little different.
Yeah,
So
pattern is very.
okay, you can leave it actually. If you have less time, no, if you are attempting mains this year, if you do not, if you are not able to cover the CSC questions, then don't go into them. For your comfortable sake or for your insecurity, if you have anything, just refer the last 2 years, nothing more than that. Or just 1 year is also sufficient.
Yeah.
Uh,
I would like to add one more thing in the PYQ. Just a minute.
okay, regarding PVQs, if someone has any questions, please keep posting. Sir will be telling some other things.
Yeah. Regarding the PYQ, for any task, for either of the GS or the chemistry, either always break that part into micro tasks. Like for PYQ, one can start with 2025 to 20, then start doing the 2019 to 2014, then 2013 to 2005. Otherwise, what will happen if you take, suppose करो कि अगर आपने thermodynamics का question ले लिया and you start solving from 2025 to 2005, then it will take 15 days to cover the thermodynamics only. It would be better to go take a chapter, ठीक है, फिर आप 5 years के questions करो, फिर आप मूव ऑन कर जाओ अगले चैप्टर्स, मतलब अगले चैप्टर में. फिर उससे क्या होगा, आप सिलेबस की मल्टीपल इटरेशंस कर पाओगे, एटलीस्ट 3 times आप सिलेबस कवर कर लोगे. And the thing is, one more thing, if you do, मान लो यहाँ पे x number of concepts आपने किया, तो यहाँ पे आप देखोगे कि चीजें रिपीट होने लगेंगी. और जब आप यहाँ पे आओगे तो थर्ड लेवल पे, तो क्वेश्चंस लगभग 80% थीम सब रिपीट होने लगेंगे, इवन क्वेश्चंस रिपीट होने लगेंगे. एंड द लास्ट पार्ट इज, डोंट गो फॉर द PYQ रिपीटिशन. PYQ रिपीट होंगे या नहीं होंगे, नो वन नोज, लेकिन कॉन्सेप्ट रिपीट होंगे. दैट्स 100% करेक्ट. ठीक है, यहाँ पे आपको 80 to 90%, इसलिए हमेशा कॉन्सेप्ट के पीछे जाना है. नेवर गो फॉर द सोर्स, नेवर गो फॉर द एनीथिंग, गो फॉर द कोर कॉन्सेप्ट, क्योंकि केमिस्ट्री जो है कॉन्सेप्ट्स का सब्जेक्ट है. अनलाइक द परसेप्शन जो है कि एक्सेप्शंस है, लकीली हमारे यूपीएससी में एक्सेप्शंस नहीं आते, मतलब बहुत ही रेयर, एक दो हो गए तो हो गए, वो भी उसमें भी कुछ तो लॉजिक होगा. जेई टाइम की तरह रटना नहीं है आपको. तो दैट्स द बिगेस्ट एडवांटेज इन द UPSC CSE chemistry.
And
Now
sir,
go.
thing that I
Yeah,
wanted
go.
to add is like now some those who are attempting for mains, even for those who are normally preparing for chemistry, so before starting any topic, thoroughly go through the previous questions, because now you have to be prioritized. I mean, like someone asked in the question, like someone asked a question that in the 2 to 2.5 months we have for mains preparation, it feels very difficult to cover everything. Okay, but the most important thing is whether you are covering the topics which are very, very, I mean, like, which the examiner is focusing upon. So before, for example, let's say thermodynamics, before starting thermodynamics, you go through the questions. You understand that some of the questions are repeated. Okay. The questions like third law states an impossibility. There are certain, with respect to third law of thermodynamics, there are certain questions which are repeated in one form or the other. So when you are studying your notes, you will emphasize more upon those things. Similarly, if there is anything which is not coming, which is coming a little less frequently or once upon a thing, if you don't have time, you can leave that topic. Don't spend too much time, because something, see, the problem is we cannot be comfortable in every topic in chemistry. There are many topics which will be like we will forget the next day that we have read it, and it's very difficult
Yeah.
also. Then that's why the prioritizing aspect is very, very important. That can be done only by solving the PVQs or going through the PVQ just before.
And it is very personal thing, and it is also very personal thing.
Yeah.
For some, paper 2 is very tough, and for some, inorganic is a tough nut to crack.
Sir, regarding test series, I will start. I will tell something about test series.
Okay. Can we
Yeah.
just glance through the exam hall strategy because it's the most asked
But
question?
After test series, I
Yeah,
will give the.
choice question. Okay.
yeah, Rahul, once again, I think there was a question related to PYQ that someone was asking. Was asking
Okay.
about the uh, old sources, 2003 to 13 and all. I think that small booklet has the previous years also, no? That those is not
Yeah,
available even
Silpi,
the
Yeah.
Silpi publication.
Yeah, so that question, I think it's available in the Delhi market. So someone can actually, the person who was asking, if you have some friend in Delhi, you can ask them to purchase that and give it to you. It's a small booklet. And
Yeah.
another good source is that there used to be notes from brilliant tutorials. That's really old notes. So some
Hmm.
questions from 90s and all is required. I think I saw 2 or 3 questions repeating from that time. Okay, so that was still there. Some technical words that they use, like we're saying now that Bhargav was saying, that
Hmm.
some nomenclature that is actually we know what is the thing when we know the solution, but we
Hmm.
don't know what they're saying by the name. So that
Yeah.
name has been given in some previous year question. So then only you will understand, oh, this is the same thing only. You now
Hmm.
you know the answer, but you never know that this is the question that is being asked.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that questions you can get that also is available in the Delhi market only. So if that I'm not still sure, there's a 7 or 8 bundles was there in Delhi.
I
So
mean,
that
like,
also goes with the PYQ. Do not go for it as a reference book because there is a lot of material in that covered.
And they are
You should,
very bulky also.
yeah, it's
yeah.
very bulky also. So for those who are attempting for the mains, don't go into the matter, but you can always refer to the questions that is given at the end, towards the end of the chapter. So that is about the PYQ that someone was asking. I think we missed during the discussion.
Yeah.
Even online, I think they are available.
PDF is available. PDF of Silpi publication was available few
Yes.
years back, I guess.
So, see,
I will try to explore it and I will share with
don't
guys.
worry about the things, everything. Okay, first thing.
Hmm.
2003 to 2013, there are certain previous year questions. Okay. You might not know someone. You might not even get answers for some questions. See, we don't know every answer. That's for sure. But the
Hmm.
thing is, if you cover 2025 to 2012 properly, na, for those which we have answers thoroughly, most of the questions are repeated in the first place. And secondly, even if it is an exception, it's okay. It's okay. You can leave that. Don't be obsessed and keep wasting your time on those questions. Post it in your groups. I mean, like there are certain groups will be formed now after the mains results are out. Those who are just preparing for mains, form a group, and then in that keep posting the questions which you don't know. And others, I think gracefully you should share the answer if you know it. Don't be competitive in this because only
Yeah.
when people start sharing answers, uh, we will be. I mean, like as a whole, we will be very. It will be beneficial for you also.
There is enough space for everyone.
Enough space for everyone. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And second,
Questions गलत हैं उसमें.
but we might get some answers, but don't think too much about those questions.
It's
First,
better to get ask मतलब मुझसे पूछ ले या लवप्रीत से पूछ ले. Lawpreet is also active in the
yeah,
Telegram group.
actually, even
So we
Lovepreet,
can guide. We can at least guide.
we can guide to. I mean, like sir can tell to an extent. Okay.
और
Yeah,
एक और
someone
चीज है कि 2012 से पहले का जो केमिस्ट्री का सिलेबस था दैट इज वेरी वेरी डिफरेंट
is different.
एंड इवन द लेवल ऑफ क्वेश्चंस वर लिटिल बिट ऑन द टफर साइड.
Yeah, some papers I
डोंट
think
गेट पैनिक.
2004
हाँ,
are
डोंट गेट पैनिक.
yeah,
इवन
don't
2010 से अगर 2025 तक के भी क्वेश्चंस कर लिए जाएं दैट इज मोर देन एनफ.
yeah.
Doing 2010 to 2025 and 3 times, that is more beneficial than covering up to 2000.
Sir, I would say even like last 10 years is enough, sir. I think
या 15 से
14
25
to
भी तो बहुत
25
है
is more than
क्योंकि
enough.
वैरायटी कवर हो जा रही है ना. वी डोंट नीड टू कवर द वॉल्यूम, we need to cover the diversity part of the PYQ.
Yeah, and even before that, no, the paper used to be of 300 marks. You just
Yeah.
start from the syllabus and all changed. I think from
पहले
2013.
सिलेक्शन ऑप्शनल ड्रिवन था ना, 2 ऑप्शनल
Yeah,
हुआ करते थे. दैट्स व्हाई पेपर टफ हुआ करते थे.
yeah. Someone has raised the hand. I mean, like, yeah, please. Amala Wahi. Amala.
Hello, good
Yeah,
evening.
yeah, please.
I just wanted to ask you, sir, I'm Amala Vahita. I come from Kerala. I don't think I'll be clearing my
Amala, one
exam.
thing. Can you can we put the question at the end? We will just
Oh, no, I just wondered about PYQs since we were talking about
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I can
please,
put
please.
it in the chat. No, it's okay. I put it in the chat.
No, yeah. Then if it is regarding PVQs, then tell me.
वो ये था that you said PYQs you used extensively that. So how does PYQs can be used in different phases of the preparation? Like when you begin, how do you use PYQs? When you're at a little advanced stage, how do you use it? And
Yeah, I mean,
towards
like,
the end, when you're a pro at writing answer, then how do you change? Like what do you get out of PYQs always?
okay, I have already told you when you start any topic, go through the PVQs. You understand within the topic which subtopics need to be prioritized. That's the first most important thing. And secondly, when you are practicing, I mean, like, okay, we are done with the topic. Then you are practicing. Without practicing PVQs, you should never get away with the topic. Practicing, I mean, like, entirely with organic, you should practice everything. I mean, like, and even just before the mains, just before the mains examination, I wanted to say is the way they are framing the questions, which I even mentioned. The way they are framing the questions, it is important because sometimes we don't even recognize how the questions are being asked. That is also important. So these three are broadly the things. And even see, what I used to do is I used to take the booklet, I mean, like the book of previous year questions. I used to just go through them in my break times. Okay, how to solve this, how to solve this. This is kind of training your mind to be more spontaneous. You will quickly recognize the answer. Even if you have solved it now, you will forget because there are so many questions. Even if you remember it, I mean, trying to reinforce that, okay, I remember this thing. That's also fine. So it is useful, firstly, for prioritizing, and secondly, for practicing, and thirdly, for revising it and increasing the spontaneity with which we can recognize the questions. And lastly, the way the examiner is framing the questions. These four things. Okay.
I have one more thing to add here regarding the PYQ. Just let me share the. Just
Sir, I will just address one more question.
yeah, sure.
See, the biochemistry, please ask at the end. Okay, we will go top. Any specific question we will address at the ending. Okay, and regarding ChatGPT and all, here use it, but not every time we can be assured that it's right. Okay, just like
Okay.
there is something called hallucination. Like nature hallucinate that it is the right thing, but not always. Okay, but sometimes it guides us. Okay, the thinking, maybe in the thinking part, okay, we can think about this reaction in certain manner and all. That thing can help. Refer it as a last resource. You don't have anything, no one is answering, or even you have shortage of time after, and you don't have the answer for that. Go into it. But
AI have a very limited scope in chemistry and even in science
if it is a last
options.
resort, it can be a last resort. That's fine, sir.
Yeah, yeah. In some theoretical questions, it might help, like in bio inorganic or main group
Yeah.
chemistry. But let me tackle this question.
Sir, but one
PYQ
more
and
thing, sir,
FYQ. Yeah,
please cross check if the answer from AI for sure.
yeah.
Okay. Please cross. If possible, in Google, even if it is a trusted source that it will be mentioning below the answer, it will mention some sources. Once go through them, I mean, like, if there is no source at all, try to cross check. Please cross check if you are using AI. Sir, please.
Yeah,
I, I
Bhargav,
have.
just 1 second. I just want to comment on that part of using AI.
Hmm.
Okay, so the most sensible thing is that you should actually try to use the notebook LM. So what Notebook LM does differently is that it takes the material from whatever sources you have uploaded. So if you have a good source of the standard books, you just need to upload them and then you ask your question. So probably
Yeah.
they'll just look into that sources and try to give it an answer, and they'll also see what is the reference that is being used. So ChatGPT, when on the other hand, it would go actually for any other kind of sources, and it may cause a hallucination also. But
Yeah.
so this is the only smart use of AI that I can think of in chemistry. And even then, this case also, I think it is always better to double check. So in Notebook LM, they'll obviously give you from which source they are actually getting this answer and all. But I think this is the only sensible thing that you can use for AI. If at all you are using for it,
Yeah.
it's much better if you do it on yourself. So that is the thing that I want to add just.
Yeah. Completely agree with him.
As a faculty, what I have, integrated AI in the previous year question. Now, right now, what we do, we have segregated the chapter wise questions, all right, like organic reaction mechanism हो गया, all right. तो you can use the chat GPT or the Claude for pattern identification कि अगर अल्डोल में भी है तो अल्डोल में भी कितने तरह के क्वेश्चंस बन रहे हैं. तो chat GPT and Claude do this thing very beautifully, the subtopics of a particular theme. And even जो पैटर्न आइडेंटिफिकेशन हो गया तो माइंड मैप बना लिया हमने, तो नोटबुक एलएम का कैसे यूज करेंगे. सपोज करो अगर आप कार्बिन के क्वेश्चंस कर रहे हो पेपर 2 के अंदर, तो कार्बिन का जो भी कोई यूनिट है या ऑर्गेनिक रिएक्शन मैकेनिज्म में SN1 SN2 है, यू कैन अपलोड दैट चैप्टर, ओके, फ्रॉम 1 or 2 सोर्सेज. पीटर साइक्स ले लिया PDF एंड क्लैडन एंड ब्रूस एंड निमेतिवारी. अब आपने वो डाल दिया और पीवाईक्यू के सॉल्यूशंस, पीवाईक्यू भी आपने डाल दिया SN1 SN2 का. अब आप बोल दो उसको कि बेस्ड अपॉन दीज सोर्सेज मुझे एक वेल स्ट्रक्चर्ड आंसर यूपीएससी के लिए बना के दो, तो वहां से थोड़ा हेल्प मिल जाती है हमें, लेकिन बहुत लिमिटेड यूज करना है. Don't get final answer. Yeah, restrict the sources.
Yeah.
And then last part. Yeah.
Use it as a last resort. Okay.
Yeah, use it only for the pattern identification and the source tracking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the main part, here comes the human, this is the AI part, and here comes the HI part, human intelligence. यहाँ पे दो ही चीज है केमिस्ट्री के अंदर कि first you have to strive for the accuracy. To get the right answer is the main quest of your main quest should be the getting the right answers for anything. ठीक है, चाहे वो ऑर्गेनिक हो, इनऑर्गेनिक हो या फिजिकल हो. Then comes the representation part. पहले आपके आंसर ही गलत हो गए तो आप रिप्रेजेंट करके करोगे क्या? You will not get marks for the representation only. You will get marks for representation only when your answers are correct. So first try to get correct answer, and getting correct answer requires getting correct concepts. तो conceptual clarity should be your prior striving area. वहां पे आपको बहुत मेहनत करनी है थोड़ी सी, और +2 के लेवल पे थोड़ा बहुत अगर हम इनहेंस करेंगे तो चीजें हो जाएंगी, बहुत ज्यादा टफ नहीं है. लेकिन यहाँ पे जो रिप्रेजेंटेशन वाला पार्ट है, हियर कम्स द वैल्यू एडिशन थिंग. अब जिस हिसाब से पेपर लेंदी होते जा रहा है, इसकी भी यूटिलिटी कम होते जा रही है, वैल्यू एडिशन की भी. But it's when it becomes your habit, then automatically within the time constant and within the space constant, you will be able to add the value to at least add 1 or 2 extra points in each of the questions, and then you can go for 300 marks.
Sir, the specifics we will do it later. Then now I will discuss about the test series. I mean, like,
yeah, sure.
Specifically the test series. Okay. So when you are thorough with the topic and you have done your previous year questions, the most important thing for mains preparation is test series. Okay, how test series is important? Firstly, see, I will trace it back from the exam day. On the exam day, the most important mistakes that we make is, one is calculation errors, and second is we don't identify the, I mean, like the reaction or the arrangement, or even sometimes even in numerical questions we don't identify which formula need to be used, or sometimes you misread the question. Okay, and lastly, time management. See, in my opinion, the most important thing for a student who has very good knowledge, he revised thoroughly, is, I mean, like, even why they don't score good in chemistry is because of time management. See, time management is very specific with respect to the paper. The paper can be lengthy, the paper can be easy, the paper can be tough. The most important aspect is whether you are putting the knowledge you have with respect to the questions and you are giving the best possible, you are attempting for the best possible score you have. It should not be the, I mean, like, it is more important to attempt as much as possible. And if you are not good in time management, that will not happen, because that happened with many people. That happened with me, with many of my friends who have cleared the service. And how can we learn that during test series? See, previous year questions we have solved it. We can't see how we are managing the time using previous year questions. And test series, specifically the final full length tests. Okay, the sectional tests are for whether you are thorough with the knowledge or not. That is important, because you need to cross check whether I'm good in atomic chemistry, whether I'm good in gaseous state, or whether I'm good in pericyclic or photochemistry. These are very specific, and even you will get the confidence that, okay, I'm very good in this paper. If you score very good in some of the topics, you will be very confident. No? That will also aid you. And with respect to the full length test, I'm saying, full length test, you treat it like the final exam of UPSC. You can write 2 tests also in one day, just like we do in the final day, or even one test, treat it as a final exam. And while reading as a final exam, you should ensure that, see, we have 3 hours and we have hardly 35 minutes for every question. How effectively we are complying every question and we are stopping at 35 minutes. Okay, 1 to 2 minutes of error is fine, but how effectively we are complying with that? That cannot happen every time, because see, even in test series, some questions can be lengthy, some papers can be lengthy, some papers can be easier, some papers can be tough, so that even if you don't have time, we can't do anything. So whether you are maximizing the amount of information you have, I mean, like whether you are putting your best efforts, that depends on the time management only. Okay, you can give up some validation in some questions to ensure that the paper is completed. But if you can do both, that's the best possible way. For that, even you have to even you have to reduce it. I mean, like, okay, just like GS, I mean, like we have to write 7 minutes the 10 marker and 11 minutes the 15 marker. We have to understand how much time can we give to a 5 marker. If there are 10 5 markers and you have 35 minutes, you know it is 3 minutes. That is how you should be. I mean, like you should be very attentive. That cannot happen just in the exam hall. And that can happen only when you are doing the every test series you have with such a kind of accuracy. See, this seems very obvious, but we don't do it in the examination hall. And what happens is the paper makes our time misbalance at times. Okay, sometimes even the 5 markers are taking like 4 minutes. So then we have to understand them. Okay, we have to rush. Okay, we cannot complete every question on 3 minutes or something like that, but on a 3 to 4 questions basis, whether we are on time or not. This is very important, and you should do this even in the post-test analysis. Okay, in the post-test analysis, you should understand where I am taking more time. See, the best possible. See, why I think the only thing that helped me score 300 or consistently score is I am able to answer as many questions as possible. I understand. Okay, the paper is tough. I will not write so many steps in the or the stepwise mechanism and all. I will teach them in the paper too. I will ensure that each and every answer is being brought to with minimal number of steps, because I understand the more important thing in this aspect is we have to attempt as many as possible. Then you have to understand on I mean, like in the specific time, if a 5 marker is given and he's asking mechanism, sometimes he's asking, we don't know how, I mean, like what kind of logic is that. Even some of the very, I mean, like, tough reactions are being asked with mechanism. So you need to be in a space that you need to cut short it and ensure that not more than 3 to 3.5 minutes is given to that. That you should practice in the, I mean, like, test series. And
Bhargav, just one more thing. If you could just talk about the your strategy of making the choices in the option
yeah,
exam, that also would actually help them, I believe. Okay.
fine. I mean, like in the next topic, I will be going into exam day. Okay.
Okay, fine, fine.
And second thing, okay, time management. See, time management and specifying, because this is very, very important and the most neglected aspect in the preparation. This cannot happen on the exam day. I'm giving it for sure. If it happens, that's your luck, but you don't rely on your luck. I remember, see, I will tell you, the 2 attempts which I gave my full efforts is like in CSE 2022 in which I got 300, and in CSE 2024 in which I got 285. But I feel that is the best attempt I have given till date. But in 2 attempts, I have attempted like 15 to 16 tests, and the full test I gave like 4 to 5, I mean, like full tests or 6 full tests, I think. I mean, like 3 for each paper, and every time after the test, okay, sometimes I didn't score well. That's also fine. But I understood, okay, this is what it is taking time. This I should not repeat in the examination. That kind of calling or inner calling that you have in the examination, that helps you a lot. And that can only happen when you have done it earlier and you have realized it. Okay, this is where I'm mistaken. I am left only 25 minutes for the last 50 marks. Okay, that is wrong. You should ensure that at least 30 minutes are there for the last question. Sometimes it happens. Okay, so the time management is important. And secondly, mistakes. See, mistakes don't happen just in the examination. If you're committing some mistakes in every test series, that will sometimes get repeated if you don't take note of them. So what I used to do is, I used to list down all the mistakes I do. I mean, like, see, just like simple that starts from simple mistakes like the units are not being taken into consideration. The diameter is given in centimeter and I'm considering it as meters. And the answer is being asked in certain units. I didn't consider that. Why should I give up? I mean, like the whole preparation, we do so much of effort, we remember those things and go to the exam hall. These should not be the reason for which we are losing the marks. I list down a lot. I mean, like I will try to share with Rahul sir the list I have made with respect to paper 1 and paper 2. Even during calculation, even for calculator, I have made some. Okay, the kind of calculator errors that I am making. It will not be more. I mean, like it will be like nearly 10 to 12 for paper 1. And why I am making the list is I should not repeat them in the final examination, and I don't want any sort of mistake in the final examination. And that is based on my test series answers. The test series answer, I have made a mistake. Why did I made a mistake? Because this is because of silly mistake. If the concept is not known, okay, I will read it. But I should not lose marks due to silly mistakes. So the mistakes list can only be made the mistakes that you are making. See, everyone will tell, I will tell some mistakes. That is not your mistake. No? You will be attentive in calculations. There is no need of, I mean, like more emphasis upon those things. So these two things, I think these two are the most important things. Other things, maybe you can ask now regarding only test series. Okay. And I would say, I mean, like at least write two tests, full tests, other than a sectional test. Once, if possible, simulation. Simulation means morning and evening, one test. Because the kind of thinking we have during the simulation, mostly it helps us in the final exam. And also another thing that I want to mention to you is after the language paper, you will not have any time. I mean, like you will have very less time. You will only go through the important topics, right? So that also you can understand. If you are writing a simulation, you will understand what topics need to be thoroughly read just before the examination. You will understand the
देयर शुड
priority.
बी अ प्रायोरिटी लिस्ट, देयर शुड बी कि
There
कहाँ
should
पे
be
आप
priority.
लैग कर रहे हो। कि बायो इनऑर्गेनिक में अगर आपको पता है कि विटामिन B12 का स्ट्रक्चर, साइनोकोबालामाइन का स्ट्रक्चर मुझे नहीं याद है, या आई गेट मिस्टेक्स इन द टेस्ट पेपर, देन यू हैव टू डू इट। वो लिस्ट होनी चाहिए, और केवल ब्रॉड लिस्ट नहीं होनी चाहिए। अगर ब्रैक्स ला के डेरिवेशन में कोई स्टेप गड़बड़ हो रहा है तो वो आप लिख लो।
Okay.
जो एग्जैक्ट मिस्टेक अगर पता रहेगी तभी वो जो लास्ट का 5 दिन होगा उसमें देन ओनली यू विल बी एबल टू रिवाइज इफेक्टिवली। रिवीजन डजंट मीन कि आप चैप्टर 1 से स्टार्ट करो चैप्टर 10 तक जा रहा। रिवीजन मीन्स revisiting your mistakes that you have done either in the PYQs or in the test papers. You can't revise whole of your notes. जो शॉर्ट नोट्स होंगे, शॉर्ट नोट्स बनाना तभी चाहिए जब आप 2 बार 3 बार आपने कर लिया है।
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, I will just, after test series, I just want to mention the specific. This is the most important thing that I want to mention you guys.
One more thing. I have personal
Yes,
question.
sir.
How you have, managed the accuracy part and the representation part? If there is a time constraint, या जैसे सपोज करो, सिमुलेट करो कि आप शुरू में भी स्टार्ट हुआ है पेपर, 3 घंटे का पेपर है, 9 बज रहे हैं, तो आप स्टार्टिंग से लेके लास्ट तक how you navigate through the paper, or keeping in mind the two aspect only,
Okay.
accuracy and the representation.
No, sir, I will address first accuracy and representation. Then I will tell you why the exam day part, but specifically
Okay.
the exam day part.
All
Okay.
right.
So regarding the accuracy part, there are two things with respect to accuracy part. One is calculation. The calculation. Okay. So what I understood is during the examination, if I am calculating twice every question, sometimes we recheck, we have to check whether the answer is right or not, because it might be 15 mark or 20 mark. Then there will be a lot of time wastage. So I want to be very sure in one aspect that whatever calculation I'm making, that is foolproof. So how I understood this, I did multiple numerical questions at once. I opened PSP, Guru Sharma Patania. I kept solving all the questions and I'm checking with the answer. During that part, I understood there I'm making certain errors in calculations. See, when we are making too big a calculation, if we don't break it, we will commit some errors. Either you should be very accurate or you should break it to ensure that at no part you are making an error. And second thing with respect to accuracy, if you are practicing so many times, so many previous year questions, so many reference book questions and all, you will understand the range in which the answer will be there. That is very, very important. Why it's important is because sometimes the answer will be too much that it should not be. The answer cannot be more than certain value, or the answer cannot be less than certain value. The answer is mostly in certain ranges. See the atomic radius and all. You can't get too much, too bigger value or too lesser value. You will only when you are practicing these things, you will understand that there are certain ranges in which the answer will come. See, I'm not asking you to remember or wrote these values, but all I wanted to say is when you are practicing, these things will automatically get ingrained in your mind, and you will understand whether the answer is right or not. Also, I understood many values like that. That's for sure. All I wanted to say is when you are practicing these questions, you should keep note of, okay, this is the range in which it is coming. Just to keep note of this. So accuracy is mostly because of multiple times I'm using the calculator just for understanding that I'm not making any errors. And secondly, you know the range in which it is there. Then you will cross check. If you understand that the answer is coming in the same range and you are very confident about your calculation skills using the calculator, then there is no need to panic about those things. All I wanted to say is don't just when you are practicing, don't just see ki, okay, I know the formula, get away with it. Practice it. See the answer, check with the answer every time, even multiple times. N number of questions. That will ensure that the accuracy can be there. And secondly, with respect to representation, there are multiple things in it. Okay. With respect to paper one, see, I think there are just like GS now, we can draw small diagrams in every answer. Okay, he asked regarding photochemistry, or you have some diagrams within PSP and all, no? An electron is
Yeah.
the photoelectric effect and all.
Certain graphs can be used
Very
also.
small. Just see, chemistry do not expect value-added diagrams. They just expect diagrams.
Hmm.
Just diagrams. Now, even graphs that sir is mentioning. There are certain even in spectroscopy, no, you have decoded the compound. Okay, there is they have given the mass values, mass spectrum values. You just make a graph M by Z. You can just plot the values and just show this is the compound. Something. See, the value addition part only comes when the paper is not lengthy. If the
Yeah.
paper is lengthy, if the paper is lengthy, you should only go to the value addition when you have time.
Yeah.
The time, I mean, that's why I have mentioned it during the test series that there is a 10 marker question. You can't give more than 6 minutes or 5 minutes to that. If you are able to complete it in 4 minutes, or you can understand, right? When you are solving the question, you know that the question is about to complete. Then you just make a diagram or make a graph there. Okay. So that's why every individual question management is also important. I'm very, very specific with respect to this. So this is like small scale representation that you can do. Just like there is a compound, there is a electron is revolving around the nucleus when they ask questions about atomic radius and all. Very small diagrams that should not take more than 15 to 20 seconds. Make a box, just leave it. This is with respect to paper one. You can just pick some very easy diagrams through internet.
And they all are given in the books.
They are all given in the books. Only
And nothing fancy.
nothing fancy, no value addition, very simple. Okay, just for example, photoelectric effect. Just one photon is hitting the metal, electrons are getting ejected. That's it, nothing more. And with respect
We
to
call it
absorption,
value addition because because of the MCQ background of BTech students,
yeah,
they don't think they need to do this.
yeah.
That's why it becomes a value addition part. Actually, they are not.
See, this is if you understand, this is kind of GS based only. You
Yeah.
need to somehow pick something and make sure you make the examiner understand that okay, I'm adding this value to this.
Yeah.
Because otherwise there is very less scope. You understand what can you add in a numerical? Okay, you can elaborate the steps. What else can you do? There's nothing to add other than this thing. So that's
Suppose
why
there is a numerical on
paper,
Raoult's law, then you can make the graphs.
yeah.
Graphs becomes the integral part.
And even if there is a graph in a law, simply make the graph. And even the adsorption isotherms, I mean, like, the theory
And
says
you
that,
are very good at it, Bhargav, in all of your copies, if I remember, you are very good at drawing those tiny diagrams and do the little valuation things.
yeah,
But they
don't,
are not very common among the student.
yeah,
it has to be practiced. और
हाँ.
ये जो है because of MCQ बैकग्राउंड की वजह से ऐसा होता है.
That I understood. See, that's what you understand. I mean, like, when you look at some topper's copy, you see that he's doing this thing. Why can't I do? See, then you devise your own strategy. You don't copy those things. You copy the ideas. Okay, he's using very simple diagrams, and that's making it look good. Just like GS. I'm just saying, don't complicate the thing. And specifically for those questions which are being repeated, make sure that there is a diagram. If it is present in PSP, that's fine. Otherwise, just type in the Google, okay, diagram on this. If you find any diagram which is very easy and representable, then copy it in the notes. Don't do it specifically wasting your time. If you have something in your mind, put it in the exam hall, put it within the exam hall also. All I want to say is, this is the valuation part comes only when the paper is not lengthy and you don't have time, because we can't compromise anything for attempt. The attempt is more important. I mean, like, the amount of marks that you're attempting is more important than any other thing. And secondly, when you are value adding, don't complicate things. Very simple things, which everyone knows. Even you know, but you are not putting it. That should be how valuation should be there in paper 1. With respect to paper 2, see, I mean, like, my valuation in paper 2 and also some of the parts in paper 1 came from Rahul sir's answers. I mean, like, test series answers. And some from the previous year questions answers, which are directly put from reference books by Shaheen. So Rahul sir's answers of test series have specifically, okay, this is how you should end the step 1. This is the kind of intermediate that you should be putting it specifically. Sir, I do remember, I mean, like, I think there is Masonheimer
Yeah,
complex is there. Okay. You
yeah,
put specifically in the box.
yeah.
And if there is a orbital diagram that is present during elimination reaction or substitution reaction, if you have
The MO perspective of an answer.
ammo perspective, okay, you can put that. So that, I think, I don't ask you to do anything more than, sir, I think the test series answers that you have made, that can help. If at all,
Yeah.
if one can't refer those things, just keep a look upon whenever.
There is a checklist. I have made a checklist of 15-20 items.
Huh.
Just among those 20 things, just drop 3 or 4 things in each answer. Just make the diversity work for you.
And one more thing, try to remember, and this is with respect to representation paper 1 only, and also paper 2. Try to remember the names. See, if a
Common
question is
names.
based on names of the scientists that have proposed the theory, okay,
Hmm.
this is a bit, I mean, like, this is a bit difficult, but once you do it in the test series, okay, in the test series, they have asked some theory. If you know the name of the scientist, try to mention it in the introduction. That will help you. Even in the named reactions, try to mention the names. Keep mentioning the names, but continuously keep mentioning the names. That is the only valuation we can do. The diagrams. And the diagrams, when it comes to paper 2, it is orbital diagrams or intermediate diagrams, which no one does. And specifically with respect to paper 2, make sure that if we ask the mechanism, try to break it step 1, step 2, step 3. Just like it is given in the, I mean, like, Claydon or some reference books. Usually in reference books, they make it stepwise. And not just stepwise, try to explain what you are doing in the step. Or if
Along the steps. Just drop keywords.
Just drop keywords. And another thing is, when you are writing any question in chemistry, paper 1, paper 2, if you can have an introduction and a conclusion, it would be better. That is also valuation. See, the valuation part in chemistry is doing the things which we didn't do. That's it. We didn't think of introduction in chemistry. We didn't have a conclusion in chemistry. Okay. And not everyone permits it. There are some questions which permit it. How you can identify them is like, see, for suppose there is a numerical for 10 marks and ask you to, I mean, like, calculate atomic radius for 2 different atoms. Okay. In the conclusion, just you need to say that this atom or this particular compound has greater atomic radius than this thing. That is the only conclusion. See, he has given two different questions in one single, two different sub questions in one single question. That does mean you can just compare and conclude the question. Similarly, some things may be, for example, in Heisenberg uncertainty principle, you can understand whether it is what kind of nature the particle is. We can draw certain conclusions based on this. If you can write them. Where you can get that with respect to specifically atomic structure. If you can go through PSP solutions now in the atomic structure, they will write something or the other after the question. I'm not saying write conclusion for everything, but if possible, try to write something. Make
That
sure
comes under the physical significance.
Yeah, the
Of
question
that value.
is a well-drafted answer. This we understood when Rahul sir made us understand this thing. We don't know before that. See, again I'm mentioning, these all things only matter when you are timely completing the paper. This is just for those. I think this is the edge that people will bring when they are scoring above 280 or 290. These things matter for them. And now that we have taken chemistry optional, all of us, I think we should strive for the best here. 290 plus should be scored. I mean, 280 plus should be scored. And we have initially things might feel tough, but once you start enjoying, it would be very fruitful for you. But the thing is that, see, I'm not who had very good chemistry knowledge before starting the examination. I just got a cue from one of my seniors, but I worked very hard on that. I ensured that I'm thorough in every topic that was there in the syllabus. I would definitely say it's not purely hard work or intelligence, it is combination of both. You need to be a little smarter, and I think most of us are at that level. When we are taking up this examination, we have the courage to do that. And secondly, we have taken this optional. We know for sure we can understand some things. So the thing that is left is hard work. If you can do that work, you should have the courage to go through your paper and critically analyze it. The test series paper that you have. Not every time sir can help. Any sir, I mean, like you are enrolling in any test series, not just GS, not just chemistry. Not every time people can help you. You should be able to go through your paper. And you should understand, because can I do valuation here? If you have mindset, things will come. Things will start flowing. Once things start flowing, it becomes kind of a habit for you to score good marks. I'm not asking you to attempt multiple times, but what I'm trying to say is that you can score good marks by having this sort of attitude. Where can I add the value? Just like in GS. Nothing more. I think, sir, this thing is enough for the. Now I will address the exam day part. Okay. We are already going too much with respect to time. See, exam day. Why in specific exam day is like, see, no matter whatever we study, how many calculations, how many test series we write, it's all for that exam, right? So you just try to reverse engineer whatever is happening on the exam day. One, it is very difficult to have a good rest before the exam day. Okay. If you are sleeping well, that's fine. Even get prepared for the worst. I can clearly say, I mean, like the day, the attempt in which I
Have
got
you
200.
slept before your exam?
No, I didn't sleep.
Not
I
at
didn't
all.
sleep. That doesn't mean I am studying. I completed my preparation and all, but somewhere down the line, I couldn't sleep. But after the attempts after my 2023, I slept peacefully. I slept even if there is, I mean, like in Hyderabad, I'm preparing here. What happens is during the same mains period, no, they will have that Ganapati Visarjan. In Ganapati Visarjan, they will have the DJ all
Yeah.
night. And most of the time, for 2 times, it is before the optional examination. And you
Okay.
can't even imagine the kind of sound they make. Even in that sound, I slept.
Okay.
I'm not asking you people to, I mean, like, see, staying awake and all, it's not good. Because chemistry requires very presence of mind in the examination hall. Try to sleep. But you should be in such a position that even if you don't have enough sleep, I'm like, you have slept only 5 hours. Even that should be able to bring your, I mean, like preparation and all to the core. Okay. So even in stressful situations, you should be able to write the examination. So what does it require? It requires just telling your mind that I can do it. This is very, very important. See, self-belief, nothing beats self-belief. You should believe that you will be scoring very good in the examination. You should believe it. You should bank upon your preparation that you have made, the test series that you have written. Okay. Self-belief is the most important thing on exam day. And secondly, the time management that I have already mentioned. Time management doesn't come just on the exam day. It will come only through practice and analysis. How better I'm managing the time. And thirdly, make sure that you have a simulation already once. If you have a simulation, the exam day will be like repetition of the simulation. If you can have two simulations, that is very, very good. But I don't think it is very easy to have two, I mean, like more than one simulation. Simulation, you understand that simulation is like having paper one full test on a Sunday morning and paper two on a Sunday afternoon. Just like we do for with an Abhyas and all. You can have a simulation. Do it whenever it is possible, but that will help you. And
This time we will do. This time we will conduct two papers, 9 to 12 and then 2 to 5.
2 to 5.
At least one set.
Yeah. And you understand, I mean, like, say, in the exam day, whatever mistakes can happen. We try to just think about them. Okay, calculation errors, whether I'm ready for that or not. I told you, I practice multiple numericals to ensure that I'm very thorough in the calculations. You keep doing that. It's not that in the, I mean, like, in June you did all the calculations and it will carry till August. No, no. You have to keep practicing. Whenever there is a numerical question, keep practice and check the answer. Okay. That will continuously reinforce that you are very good and you are not committing any calculation errors. And thirdly, whether you are committing any silly mistakes that can be made using test series answers. In the test series answers, you have made some silly mistake. Okay. For suppose you didn't mention the units, or he is asking in SI units, and like I've already mentioned, it is in centimeters. I will just read few mistakes that I have committed. I will tell you guys. So in one of the question, he asked wavelength. Like he asked wavelength, and I just calculated the energy and left it. From energy, I need to calculate the wavelength. I didn't do it. Okay. And in gaseous state, whether you are using the R value, what R value are you using? It is given in atmosphere later and all, and I'm using 8.314. These mistakes, I can't afford to make these mistakes. And temperature, whether it is Kelvin or Celsius. And whether the radius is given or diameter is given with respect to Kelvin equation questions that I'm saying. And see, these are the lists that I made. These are my mistakes. These are the mistakes that I have committed during test series or during practice sessions, which I don't want to repeat again. Make a list of them. And every
Even
time
the value of R, the gas constant,
Yeah,
universal gas
the
constant,
gas constant. R.
that is the one of the major issue.
Yeah, one of the major issues.
And one more thing, Bhargav, how you have achieved the accuracy in paper 2, like in spectroscopy and the reaction mechanism, name reaction, and the rearrangement questions.
The accuracy, I think, in paper 2 is completely practice, sir. See, in paper 2, that the thing is, see, now that they're making paper 2 very lengthy. Be prepared for that. The paper 2 will be lengthy for sure. Sometimes, if you are, I mean, like, if it's a bad year, both the papers will be lengthy. Be prepared for everything. First thing, see, bad year or not, if the score is good, it's a good year. Nothing else matters. Forgive me for that bad year and all thing. In paper 2, the most important thing
Even
is,
in bad year, people used to score 300.
yeah,
We will highlight that part also.
if you're
Ki
getting
how by
200, it doesn't
attempting
matter.
less, you can also score 300, around 300.
So for me, the only thing that matters is whether they are giving the score or not. See,
Yeah.
even for a tough paper, they might give good score. Even for an easier paper, they might not give good score. The thing is whether they are giving the score or not. So paper toughness is not the most important thing. So with respect to accuracy in paper 2, see, accuracy in paper 2 depends upon one, the spontaneity. You should be able to recognize which reaction is this or what this reagent will be doing. So that depends upon multiple times revising the reagent reaction, name reaction and rearrangement. And secondly, practicing continuously. After revising, you should be able to identify practicing with previous year questions or whatever set of, like practice questions you have. Keep practicing so that you can easily identify those things. Okay. And I don't think silly mistakes happen mostly in paper 2. Paper 2 mistakes mostly happen because we don't read the question properly. I'm saying this with all, like confidence, because There are multiple subparts in the question. Sometimes we don't even look at that. You have to read the question properly. See, the problem is when there's a reaction given like A, B, C, what are ABC, you should even read the statement about it. That is very, very important. Sometimes we feel that, sometimes we even miss writing the mechanism. Sometimes we ask something different, which we don't realize. We just start the question, we just keep solving it, irrespective of understanding it.
I have emphasized this thing when you have joined in 2022. Yeah, you people used to write mechanism in each and every
There's no need of
questions.
writing mechanism. If you ask the
Yeah,
don't write the mechanism. You write something else, but not the mechanism.
yeah.
Okay. So the thing is, reading the question, spontaneity, and with respect to spectroscopy, practice and remembering, revising the values multiple times. See, even in spectroscopy, I want to mention this thing. If you go through all the spectroscopy questions, you will understand that there are certain values which he repeats multiple times. There are certain functional group NMRs that keeps on repeating. So when you see the data that is given in the spectroscopy question, you can first identify, okay, this data is already given. Based on this is the value. And one more thing that I want to mention is the values might be different in your notes and the previous year question. The previous year question should be followed. Okay. Irrespective of the reference book that you have given, you have taken. If in the previous year question, if certain value is given for the hydrogen in ester, that is the value that should be there. Okay. So even this correction can be made using previous year questions. So I think, sir, in paper 2, it's mostly about revisions, accuracy, and practice. That can only give you, revisions, practice, and ensuring that mistakes don't happen. Mistakes like not reading the question. And there are certain numericals in paper 2, no? Don't commit mistakes in numericals in paper 2. Like in the UV spectroscopy, the lambda value calculation and all. These are not which we can afford for sure. You remembered all the values, you calculated them. And how can we afford a calculation error in that? Be careful. But being careful only means practicing now and be a little attentive in the examination also, that you don't commit any errors. Irrespective of whatever we do, sometimes things happen negatively or errors happen. But the only thing that we need to that matters is we need to be more careful, be more attentive, be more careful. Rest things happen. Whatever happens, happens. So regarding the exam day, I think this is what I want to mention. Just like sir has told, the accuracy part is very important. That cannot happen on the exam day, which will be dealt much before the exam in the test series and also during the practice times. And the time management that will happen only with the test series. We are writing very good test series that will help. And thirdly, the simulation that will help you have a better mindset in the exam day. You will be prepared for that. See, that there is a quote. If anyone of you know, battles are first won in the mind, not on the battle day. If you go with the prepared mindset, when you do good, irrespective of your performance in the simulation test, all I wanted to say is once you have already encountered that thing, it will be easy the second time. Definitely easy the second time. So simulation is very, very important. Test series is very, very important. That will help you the exam day. So all I wanted to ask you people is, now just sit down after the session and think what are all necessary for the exam day. See, even in the break, whoever is accompanying you. I even have a set of friends who only will come to my exam day. Because I know those people will reinforce me positively. Not just for chemistry, even for GS, I would say. You should understand each and everything that's happening on the exam day. Who will come with you? Who will bring? What kind of food do you want? Everything. Because you on the day should not have any sort of inconvenience, any sort of negativity, and you should be much more prepared. So after the session, just sit down, think what are all necessary for the exam day. See, these things are secondary, of course, the food and all, whoever will be there. But specifically with respect to the 3 hours examination, what are mistakes that you can commit? How prepared I should be? Because some things are individual. We can't point out everything. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Sir, I think we have covered the exam day, the test series part, and previous year questions part.
Yeah. And one more thing, choice of questions. That
Sure.
is the most
Yes,
asked question.
choice of questions is
Yeah.
important.
How to do that? How you have practiced? Just give your perspective.
Even choice of questions. Yeah, we have very less avenues to practice choice of questions. The first avenue is the test series. If you are writing a full test, then you will understand how to choose questions. Okay. And one of my friends suggested this, that before, just roughly take out, I mean, like, just take 2016 paper or 17 paper. Just practice choice of questions. Which questions will we choose?
Yeah, that's the best thing.
Just practice it.
Try different combinations and just make कि
We'll see.
कितना
I mean,
attempt
like,
कर
you
पा रहे हो.
just on that will not take more than 10 minutes, right? Just say, okay, this question can be attempted. This question can be attempted. I will tell you how I deal in the exam hall. What I do is, I mean, like, how I attempt properly. What I do is, I will not look at question 1 and question 5. I will not look at them because they
Yeah.
anyway need to be answered. There is no point in thinking about them because there is some 5 minute gap. Na, they will give the question paper in before 5 minutes or like 2 to 3 minutes sometimes. Initially, all I want to do is pick one question from section A and section B. Okay.
Hmm.
Out of the 4 questions, out of the 3 questions I have, I will pick one question from section A or section B, wherever it is, and I will answer it. Okay. Before start answering, I will go through every question and I will see how many marks I am losing in every question. Okay, this is the question in which I don't know 20 marks, 15 marks, 10 marks. But the thing is, even if I don't know 20 marks in a question, I will not completely, I mean, like, neglect it later. Because the thing is, I mean, like, this I realized during the examination. Sometimes we try to like, recognize the answers, the way we can answer them after repeatedly seeing the question. In prelims, it happens. Na? Sometimes see, question number 20. I think when we are attempting for, I mean, like, when we are doing the question for the first time, we don't have any clue about that. But when we come back to the question again, sometimes we realize, okay, this is it. So that's why I will start with the question in which I know almost 45 marks, very confident. I will do it. And then the next, again, I will go through the question again. I don't choose the question immediately. Okay. I will not choose the 5 questions immediately. I will go through them repeatedly. I will try to get to the best choice of questions. So I have already written, okay, in question number 2, I think I don't know 15 marks. Okay. Question number 3, 20 marks. I attempted question number 4 in section A. Okay. I come back and I will see which question can be easily, I mean, like, which question can be completely attempted. If no question is there in section A, then I will go to pick something from section B. The only thing that matters for me is highest attempt. That is very, very subjective. Remember my words. Because even there is a friend of mine, Jashwant, he got rank 23 this year. Sometimes the questions in which both of us have written are completely different, but we score the same marks. Because he is good in some topics, I am good in some topics. See, some topics nobody can be good in. Okay, some questions are like, we can't even touch those questions. That is good thing actually when you are getting some such questions, because you will not have any confusion. You will not have to, even the question is easy, the question is tough, it's very good, because if the question is easy, you can just pick it, you can write it. If the question is very tough, you don't have to think about it. That's also good. You have to ensure that you are attempting the maximum number of marks based on the next questions. See, it's simple, but the complication that happens now when there are 2 questions, just say in question number, in one question, 40 marks, and in one question, you have 35 marks. See, it's an exam where we cannot afford to write 500 marks completely. We will leave some questions, that's for sure. Not every question is made to answer. Some questions are made to waste our time. You should realize this thing. But the thing is, whether you should not just blindly choose 40 marks or 35 marks. You should choose the accuracy with which you can attempt the 45 marks, 40 marks. Sometimes there are times where I choose a question in which I know only 35 marks over a question in which I know 40 marks. Okay. I think things are clear. Is there anything that you guys can't understand in this? Just type in the message. All I wanted to say is, you should be very, very, don't choose the questions initially in the exam hall. Make sure that you know how much how much of marks you know in the entire question out of 50 marks, whether you know 40 marks or 35 marks or 30 marks. If it is less than 30 marks, there is no point in even dealing that question. Attempt the question at least, you know, 35 marks to 40 marks. At least try to attempt them. Your preparation should be in such a manner that you should be able to attempt at least 35 to 40 marks in every question. And secondly, the choice of questions also differ with time. Let's say you have one question with 10 parts, 5 into 10, and one question with 5 subparts, or 8 subparts and 5 subparts. You have very less time left. Then, if you know both of them, try to attempt the question with lesser subparts. Okay. Or if you have time, try to attempt the question with more subparts, provided you know the answers for both of them equally. So there are two scenarios that I want to tell you. There are questions in which you know completely, and you have to choose one among them. Then you should choose the question in which there are more subparts, provided you have certain, like enough time. Otherwise, choose the question with lesser number of subparts. For example, there are only 5 questions, 10 into 5, 50 marks. There are 10 questions in other question, 5 into 10, 50 marks. When there is less time, choose the 10 marker question. When there is more time and you're confident about completing it, choose the 5 marker question. And secondly, if you should be very confident with the attempt that you are having, and don't just consider the number of marks only. If you have a 35 marks, okay, out of 50 marks, you know 35 marks in a question and 40 marks in a question. Don't be, I mean, like within the 5 marks, don't be so greedy. Okay, make sure that if the 35 marks is very thorough, attempt that question. That is fine. Because sometimes we will be not sure in some questions and we still mark that, okay, I can do it. Be very intelligent in that question selection. At the end of the day, question selection, the aim is paper completion, most important aim. And after that only comes scoring. Paper completion is most important thing. Keep these things in your consideration. Sir, I think this is clear, sir.
Yeah.
So shall we open the question? I mean, like for the people to ask.
Yeah.
On and off.
Yeah. One on one, जिसको भी questions पूछने
Okay,
हैं, they can ask. Yeah, we can glance through the chat section.
Better ask, na? I mean, like ask the question.
Yeah.
At least show your faces happily.
I think people who have questions can just raise their hands. Then it will be not having any issues.
Yeah.
That'll be much better. Yeah.
Yeah, please. Yeah, dot is written.
I would like to add some perspective of Sahin, if he can guide.
No, I think
Yes,
Bhargav
sir,
has-
can I ask a question?
Yeah,
Yeah,
please
yeah.
go ahead. Please go ahead.
Sir, my specific question was with regard to the on the exam day, how you make the choice of questions. So, sir, I have given mains once, and the problem that I faced that year was ki, when I'm glancing through the paper initially, I would see ki, okay, the say question 2, I know A, B, C section, but in question say the D and E part, I'm not so sure with, or it is from the topic that I don't know much about. And then while doing this, I would obviously try to solve some parts of ABC in my head, and then I move to question 3, see how much can I attempt there. And while going through process, the problem that I face is ki, uh, at the end I would see ki, like they are very similarly placed ki, say I am able to attempt 40 marks here, 45 marks there, but doing this takes so much time that like in the end I face time crunch like while writing the answers. So how did you deal with it, like quickly knowing that okay, I will opt this one and I will not opt this one? How do you make that choice?
Yeah. See, the thing is, when you practice very good now, some questions you will understand that, okay, I can do this. I can do this question for sure. Those are not the problem. The problem comes with the question in which we haven't encountered till then. And whether our answer is right or not. That's the kind of guess. If it is a theoretical question, it can be a guess sometimes. Okay. Then it depends on the, I mean, like see, if you are making a guess in an inorganic question or a chemical bonding question or something like that, sometimes we make a guess with respect to theory-based questions. Then the remaining questions will determine whether you should attempt that or not. So the question, without guessing, the number of marks that you are attempting is more important because it can go either way. It can be on your side or other side. And how I'm managing that I've just told you, no. See, I don't choose. I don't look at 1 and 5 initially because that anyway need to be attempted. There is no point in thinking about whether I know that question or not. Something. Look at the other questions. Save some time for yourself. Try to make a choice in the first 5 minutes. At least 1 to 2 questions. If you can choose them, that would be better. Otherwise, go through every question, and in every question of the 8 questions, see how much you are not able to score in every question. It's only math. Don't do complications. It's only simple math. If in one question you don't know 20 marks, in one question you don't know 15 marks, go for the question in which you don't know 15 marks, provided that you are very thorough with that. You
Okay,
understand? Did you
yes,
understand?
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, and also like when you are doing this same exercise, sometimes say there is a 5 marker question in the paper, but when you go like when you open your answer sheet, you will see that they may have given you 2 pages for it.
Yeah.
Like it is a very small question, they have given you more space, or it is a very big question, but they have provided you very less space, and that you cannot judge unless you turn over the answer sheet.
Yeah.
And initially, most of the times, like when we try to like tear the question paper and go through it to get a rough guess, in such cases, would you like say you have more content and you have less space, what would you prioritize there? Ki, like what is asked there, I will just write it and I will not do any value additions, or I will still try to like attach some value additions there in the
See,
limited
that
space
depends.
provided.
That depends whether you have realized that the less space is there or more space is there in the first place. 5 marker, I don't think. Don't worry too much about 5 markers. Sir. How much can
Okay,
we?
sir.
See, 5 markers, I don't think writing in 2 pages doesn't make any sense with respect to 5 markers. For me, I'm particularly sure about that. Unless you have too much of time left, then you go for
No,
it.
no, sir. Actually,
That
last
will not
year's paper, I
happen.
saw that they in the first question, in the fifth
No, no,
question,
no.
they have given so many sub parts.
Yeah,
Ki
yeah.
there is like I guess they will again repeat the same to make it harder for
What I'm
students.
saying is, if you can write the same content in 2 pages, write it. The same
Okay,
content
okay, sir.
without any with respect to 5 markers specifically, but with respect to uh, 10 marker and 15 marker, if he is given only one page, na, the most important thing is you should realize that there is only one page. Sometimes what we think is there are 2 pages and we keep writing
Yes,
with
sir.
more spaces and all. You should
Yes,
understand
sir.
how much space is given.
Don't fill pages,
Ah,
especially in less marks.
go
That
through.
is one of the new trap UPSC have crafted.
Then you
They
should.
Okay, sir.
start doing more space in less 10 marker and less space in 15 marker in last two
Yes,
mains.
If you have written half the question and the page is over, then you are lost. You are losing like 5 to 6 marks there.
Yeah.
So the thing is, see, UPSC is giving some traps, so you should be more conscious and more careful. And secondly, I used to do two things here. One, I used to divide the page into two halves. Okay.
Okay.
If it is a 15 marker, I will do that for sure. I want to ensure
Hmm.
I have written more content there because I will not score better
So you don't write horizontally, you write vertically.
vertically. Two
okay,
sheets. Okay.
Hmm.
okay, sir.
Or
Thank you.
yeah, that's it.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah,
Sir,
please.
I am failing to qualify prelims this year. I'm
Okay.
planning to attempt 2027.
Yeah.
How do you best utilize till December? I have time. I was thinking I have read completely once and solved PYQs, but didn't write like mains answers. Uh, like, how to plan till December in an effective way, like taking test series, etc.
Yeah, actually, see, along with this, with the people who are writing mains, na, this year, write test series,
Yes, sir.
write even
Sure,
the paper on the exam day. See, this you are preparing for
sure.
next week, but that doesn't mean you can be prepared a bit earlier, na. You write with them. You focus more on optional. You don't focus on GS. less time for GS and more time for optional. Try to finish off your completely, I mean, like, try the complete version of your preparation once by the August this mains this year. That will help you. See, rest I told you. I mean, like, you have to do previous year questions. You have to do some reference book based questions, practice questions. So if you can do test series along with them, and you can even compare the scores if you have some friends who are writing the test series, or you can ask how much, and based on that you should keep understanding valuation. Everything can be done now. You can do very thoroughly, very. I mean, like with much more attention. You have some time, make use of it. But I think writing with them helps, even if like 2 to 3 weeks here and there, you can do this. And after, by August, if you're once done with the option, maybe you can dedicate less time for your for your option and relatively less time for your GS. You can focus more on GS. You can follow
Thank
this.
you, sir.
Yeah.
I
Thank you,
would
sir.
like
Thank you.
to I would like to add on the important question of choice of questions. So this is a simple thing. There are two papers, paper one and paper two. And in paper one, you have two parts, physical chemistry and the inorganic chemistry, right? So some people used to attempt more of the physical thing and less comfortable with the inorganic part. And the second group is they are preferring inorganic as compared to physical because you have 5 questions to attempt out of 8. तो 1 and 5 तो कंपलसरी हो गए, 2, 3, 4 पहले में से लेना है और सेक्शन बी में से आपको 6, 7, 8 में से चूज करना है. तो you can skew this distribution based upon your strength. So you have to strategize in that particular way in the paper one कि whether your forte is inorganic or physical. And in last few years, inorganic is more rewarding than the physical part.
But there is
Jaswant used to do this.
sir, one disclaimer is that only when you know both the questions are on equal.
Yeah, that
only you should.
I would like to add. Yeah.
Okay.
And one more thing that after seeing this thing from the students, UPSC have again re-strategized. They start asking absurd questions in inorganic part. तो ये होता रहेगा. UPSC is a dynamic commission. It will keep changing its strategy, and you have to adapt within the examination hall.
Yeah.
It's not you should not be a very come with a very rigid mind कि ऐसा ही मैं करूंगा पेपर. You have to sometimes you have to maneuver within the examination hall.
You see, I remember, sir, I will just tell you one thing. I remember I have very good valuation for 2020, 2023, and so you say 2022, paper 2. But I couldn't put most of the things because paper 2 was very lengthy that year.
Yeah.
So you need to understand, okay, on the day of the examination, you need to understand valuation needs to be done or not, and ensure that your best maximum attempt is being made. These things should always guide you. Okay. And even with respect to whether we can have someone has asked him blank question paper with blank pages and all. We don't know how he will manage the paper next year. The thing is just to make sure that after when you are written, whether it's given for 2 pages or 1 page, it's not even a second thing. It just take 1 second to see whether it is 2 pages or 1 page. Don't be, I mean, don't think too much about it, but at least have a look upon it. Okay, how much space I have to answer this question. See, this is very, very important. How much space is given for an answer. See, in physical, you might somehow manage to just write the answer even if you have mistakenly looked into it. What happens in inorganic? Sorry, what happens in organic? If there are 2 subparts in the question, and you have done only 1 subpart in the entire page, where will you write the next question? You are done, right? You can't afford those things. Even that this mistake happened with me in paper 2. So, for example, there are 2 subparts A and B. And I thought there are two sides, the blank is given, I mean, like there are 2 sides of the page empty. But he has given only one side. I have written the A part completely and the paper is done. I mean, like the paper is complete and next question is starting there in the booklet. So now I understood, okay, when the 2 questions are given, see how much space is there. If it is only if it is only 1 page, then divide the page into 2 parts horizontally. A part will be given written in the first half and B part will be written in the second half. So be careful in these things. This is a kind of silly mistake. See, these things are realized by me during test series. Okay. So Manish,
one more thing, I have taken this single example. Suppose करो बर्स्ट रिडक्शन आया है, तो पहले के पेपर में बर्स्ट रिडक्शन क्या आता था, व्हाट इज बर्स्ट रिडक्शन, और उसका मैकेनिज्म लिख दो. Then in that case, you have plenty of scope of value addition. Now the question pattern changes. It gives same question. Now it will give one more subpart to it. It gives a give product also based upon the burst reduction. Then here's यहाँ पे दो सब पार्ट हो गए, तो अक्यूरेसी भी मैटर करेगी, रिप्रेजेंटेशन भी मैटर करेगा. यू हैव टाइम फॉर इट. बट जब नेक्स्ट ईयर अब क्वेश्चन जो पैटर्न आ रहा है, अगर बर्स्ट रिडक्शन में 4 पार्ट दे दिया या 3 पार्ट दे दिया, देन फ्रेगमेंटेशन ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन या जो 20 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन है, दैट गॉट फ्रेगमेंटेड इनटू 3 पार्ट. नाउ यू हैव वेरी लिटिल स्कोप फॉर द वैल्यूएडिशन, बिकॉज अक्यूरेसी स्टार्ट मैटरिंग मोर देन द रिप्रेजेंटेशन थिंग. This is a simple example how UPSC have evolved over a period of time. And in this way, these very tricky things you can prioritize. Just go through the question paper, and if you got the things that there is more subtopics, then keep your mind open कि अब मुझे value addition पे कम ध्यान देना है. Accuracy will be my main focus.
okay. Manish, you can ask question.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Please.
Yeah, sir. So I wrote the 2025 Civil Services Mains and the Forest Services Mains.
Okay.
My score was 210 in Civil Services and 205 in the Forest Services.
Okay.
So what problem I faced is that during writing the sectional test and during the first 1.5 months of the period, because there is time, my accuracy is on point, my time management is on point, like I am able to solve the question correctly. But once the syllabus is completed, like last 15-20 days when it is there for the mains, and then everything that doesn't get consolidated and I start making errors. Like for, let's say if I'm taking 4 to 5 minutes for solving a numerical, on those 20-25 days, it extends by 1 minute. That is what I noticed. And on the final day of an exam, that also boils down to accuracy mistakes also. So if you can just elaborate on this, I'm expecting to write this year's mains also.
Yeah.
So you can elaborate on 65 to 70 days of how to divide it.
Okay, more than that, what I wanted to say is, I missed this topic when I thought of discussing with you guys. One is regarding short notes. Okay. See, for those who are giving mains and for those who are not giving mains, for those who are giving mains, see, short note is very, very important for our preparation. I used to make 2 types of short notes. One is for which is a very consolidated notes. I mean, like I will reduce my entire organic notes into like 60 to 70 pages. I don't recommend the people who are going to mains to make this, provided they do not have time. For those who are not attempting mains, they can do this. And even for paper 1, it's like same. It's like 100 pages book, and 60 pages book. This is a short note I have. And I have another short note which has only formulas in paper 1. Only the things which I need to like remember on the exam day, specifically on the exam day. Similarly, for paper 2, only the reactions, just reaction without any mechanism. And if there is something that I need to remember in that reaction, I will write that. It's like 5 to 6 pages. Okay. Why I'm telling you these things is, see, when you are writing a test series, when you write the test series based on your short notes. Okay, before the test, you revise your short note. And just before the test, you just go through the very short note, I would say. Very short note and very short note. Very short note. That is the same thing that you will do in the examination. So I think, Manish, you need to have good short notes firstly. And secondly, regarding how to manage these days. Okay. See, minimum 3 revisions are important. I will divide the time firstly. Okay. At least we should revise before. See how we will do the preparation. Last 7 to 8 days before the GS4, I mean like before the essay paper, we will not study optional, right? We will study optional only after, for those who haven't given mains. So you know that on Friday the essay paper starts. So mostly that week we don't study optional, because from the next week, from Monday onwards, we have a week till Friday, which you can focus exclusively on the optional, provided you are do not have any issue with the language. Most of the people do not have any issue with the language, or even if you have, it doesn't need so much of time. So we leave it 1 week or 7 days to 10 days before the GS mains main examination. Okay. So by that time, I used to finish off 2 revisions. If possible, 2 revisions, which also includes 2 revisions means thoroughly revising once and again revising it. Meanwhile, we also write some tests like 5 to 6 sectional tests and 4 full-length tests. If this is done before you stop your optional preparation, and specifically I'm mentioning this thing for those who are writing mains, you should start your optional preparation after your GS mains the very day, the ethics day. I mean the Sunday which the ethics paper is written. On the day itself you have to start. We don't have the leverage of revising in less time like other like other optionals, humanities optionals have. We don't have that. Multiple revisions require utilizing each and every as much time as you can. See, even if you don't study that evening, just start preparing. At least you will get into that mindset. I always went to the library on the day in which I have written the ethics paper. Even if I haven't done substantively anything, still I used to go and just come back. But the next morning is good for me. Otherwise, what most of the people do is they will start a bit late on Monday. They will take too much of rest. Not necessary. We can't afford. Other options can afford it. We can't afford. And even during Monday to Friday of the week in which optional main exam will be written, try to ensure that you go through all the topics at least twice before going to examination. So it's kind of 3.5 revisions you need to make. Why I'm not telling how much time to dedicate to what topic is, you should ensure that the first revision will have more time, and second revision lesser time, and third revision much lesser time. Because when we are doing it for the second time or third time, you don't need to give too much of time. Okay, reduce the time that you are giving. But you understood it, Manish, right? This is how you should plan during the prelims result, or even now if you have started it till the exam of optional.
Yes, sir, that makes sense. Actually, my first revision only took till 1st or 2nd August. And then I didn't have any time to
Yeah,
go
then
back to it
you can
again.
afford that, no?
Yeah, that reflected in my paper also.
So
Okay,
plan
thank you.
on the back. Okay, if you are stopping your preparation on GS mains preparation on August 17th, sorry, optional preparation on August 17th, you will at least need 20 days for second revision and 40 days for first revision. Then you should understand. I'm roughly telling these numbers. Then what should you do by July 15? Try to break it effectively. Okay. Start from back. Start from the day in which you will stop the optional preparation, and by that day you should have done these many tests, these many revisions, 2 revisions and some number of tests. So by that you should plan your entire mains preparation. This applies even for GS if you can do it. But let's restrict only to chemistry. Yeah, Shreya, you're asking.
Sir, my doubt is, suppose they have asked you to write the lithium aluminum hydride mechanism, and the molecule is very big, but
Yeah.
all you have to do with is that carbonyl part, or that maybe is amide. So sir, can I just mark the rest of the part as R and take RCONH2?
Yeah, you can do that. You can definitely mention that R.
R is this.
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
And
But the mechanism is more important there.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You can do that.
And sir,
See, whatever is done in reference books, you can do it. In reference book, that is how they mention, na?
yes,
The
sir.
bigger group, they will mark it as RA something and they will reduce it.
Right, sir. Sir, next, what spectro books did you use to read? Like, I don't think there is need to read that. I think Pavia book that is actually very big
Yeah,
and.
I referred Pavia.
Jagmohan is better. Jagmohan is much better.
Jagmohan is also good.
Sir, जैसे I have done J chemistry notes. So ma'am had given quite number of peaks and data for spectroscopy. But
Okay.
since UPSC has this habit of asking some weird peaks and weird vibrational peaks, then books and how much in depth one should read?
See, one thing is, see, not every exception need to be taken very seriously. Okay, sometimes questions come. See, we do not have to score 400 or something like that. Even we cannot score. Uh, so even for scoring 300, we can leave some questions. Okay, don't take every question seriously.
Right, sir.
Questions.
Right, sir.
But the thing is, if UPSC has asked it once,
Okay, sir.
you ensure that you will not repeat. You will answer that question no matter what.
Right, sir.
Okay. See, if you are giving mains this year, I will not ask you to now go through the reference books and all.
Okay, sir.
You are, go through your notes better. Solve all the previous questions of spectroscopy
Right, sir.
repeatedly in the test series. But the thing is, if you are having an issue in something, if you are having an issue in NMR, then you should refer that book and solve some questions.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
That's what I would say.
Sir, I was thinking that whatever the amount of session I have attended, that you have practiced a lot in chemistry, like a
Yeah.
lot, like crazy. You have practiced, and sir, what I have thought for my this attempt or next attempt, whatever I will be writing, whenever I will be writing means that I don't think that I'm going to buy any test series, especially from DICE test series. So I have decided that firstly I will be writing Pururaj sir's test papers that he has written. Like I will take blank papers and I will write and match with Pururaj sir's. Like yesterday itself, I wrote a test 4 of chemistry. I found that in compulsory questions, na, my all questions were correct. And those questions which I was not able to attempt, na, he was also not able to attempt those questions.
Okay.
So that gave me a sense of confidence, that yes, I am on the right path. Though there were some answer writing mistakes into it. Yeah, I could mention more. Though,
Yeah.
sir, is this right strategy?
Yeah, but see, even in test series, if you get some exceptional questions, try to make note of it because test
Okay.
series questions are also made from PVQs only, na? Most of them.
I noted there only on that
That's
booklet,
enough. That's
and I
enough.
will revise
Right,
it.
right. Good.
And sir, there is one Tejveer sir this time. He said that I did not write many tests or much answer writing. He did not do. So, I mean, how do they manage?
I don't know how they manage.
I mean, this is chemistry.
Yeah, so that's why I mean, see, I'm not saying this is the only strategy. Okay. But the thing is, this will work. That I know. That's what I'm telling. See, some people see even in GS, many people write test series. Some people do not write and still score good. Whom should I follow? I
Right,
will
sir.
follow that will okay, in which I have confidence.
Right, sir.
He might not be able to write the test. I don't know how he managed. He might have some inherent abilities so that you can do that. Some people answer writing is very good. Even if they don't practice answer writing, they will do good. They don't require it. But if you think you require it, you should do it.
Right, sir. I got you.
That's what it is. I mean, like this is what I have understood based on my attempts, and whether we should follow or not others, or even my strategy, that should depend on your understanding of yourself.
Right, sir.
What kind of what will work for me?
Sir, my last doubt to you is that आपने कितने मार्क्स का अटेम्प्ट किया था फॉर ईच ऑफ जीएस मतलब पेपर 1 एंड पेपर 2 लाइक मैक्सिमम मार्क्स आउट ऑफ 250 हाउ मच वर यू अटेम्प्टिंग
Yeah, I think I mean like good attempt is more than 220.
Means there were many questions which you did not know, like for 30 to
Yeah, yeah,
40
30
marks.
marks, 20 to 30 marks, you can. Yeah.
Okay, sir. And in which paper you find that it was tough to complete?
See, you should understand one thing. See, even if I attempt 200, I might get 150. Even if I attempt 240, I might not get even 140 sometimes. It depends on the examiner. The thing is, maximum make sure that you give your best. Don't worry about attempt. I never worried about attempt. Okay, attempt is important. I will try to ensure that maximum attempting, but sometimes it's not possible, right?
Right, sir.
Very difficult. The questions, choice, and all, everything doesn't, and the time. Sometimes it's not. But if you're doing everything right, then you will definitely score. That's for sure.
ओके मतलब ऐसा नहीं होगा कि हाँ जहाँ पे 10 नंबर आने चाहिए वो बिल्कुल ही 2-3 दे रहे हैं दिस विल नॉट हैपन दे विल
पता नहीं मेरे साथ तो नहीं हुआ
ओके सर इवन आई हैवंट
नहीं देगा
सीन
एटलीस्ट 5-6 से देंगे
हाँ जी, ठीक है
Yeah.
सर ठीक है
Don't
सर।
see, these are the things which are not in our hands. Okay, we should do what is there in our hands. That is very, very important in everything, in even in your life. Not everything in our hands. You try to ensure that whatever is in your hands, do it the best way possible. Don't think of those things which you can't change. I don't know how the examiner reacts on that day, whether he gives 5 or 8. I don't know. But I will ensure that I'm putting my best foot forward and I'm
Mm.
doing the best thing. Rest depends on the whatever it is, whoever you believe. or what
But I do believe that if you practice well, then you will score well. I do
you do
believe in
it.
that.
You know the answer.
Yes. Sir,
श्रेया देखो, एक बात और मुझे बोलनी थी। एवरी टॉपर हैव डिफरेंट स्ट्रेटजी, है ना। जैसे भगवान को पाने के लिए भी कई रास्ते हैं, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि टेस्ट सीरीज की ही थ्रू होगा। और चूंकि तुमने ज्योति राठी से पढ़ा है, यू हैव साउंड बैकग्राउंड ऑफ केमिस्ट्री, तो
yes.
एज फार एज आई कैन एस्टिमेट तुम्हें प्रैक्टिस की जरूरत है। ठीक है, थोड़ा सा कैसे सब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चंस को रखते हैं। एज फार एज एक्यूरेसी पार्ट इज कंसर्न, आई थिंक यू आर गुड एट इट एंड यू हैव वेरी वेल ग्रेट एक्सपोजर ऑफ सीएसआई एंड नेट। तो देर नॉलेज पार्ट का क्वेश्चन काफी सही रहेगा, बट एज फार एज आई कैन इवेल्युएट, इट्स बेटर टू गो फॉर द रिप्रेजेंटेशन एंड द आंसर राइटिंग पार्ट फॉर यू।
Right, sir.
I will
Totally
try to
agree.
add one more thing here. See, on the most important thing is start the paper with the mindset that I would solve this question for sure. Don't be, see, when you are prepared, na, for those who are well prepared, when you are prepared, self-doubt arises in our mind, whether I can do it or not. The paper is framed in a different manner. It's a new paper. You haven't seen that paper till date. It might have certain diagrams which we haven't seen in any reference book. Whatever it is, approach every question in a manner that it's like a hunt. You will hunt it for sure. Ensure that you go with the mindset, I will solve this question for sure. Sometimes it won't happen, but still, the mindset is very, very important. This is what I have written on my notebook. I mean, like the PYQ book that is there. Na? I wrote it. Start with the mind. Every question should be seen with a mindset that you will definitely solve it. Okay. Someone asked how many, let's say out of 220 you have attempted, can you please let us know about the questions you are sure about? See, I'm telling about the questions I'm sure about. 200 to 220 is something which we should be very sure about. Which I'm not sure, it will like 20 to 30 marks. It's possible. Sometimes it can go even 200. I'm not denying that possibility. But the best attempt is at least you should do 220 good. 220 to 230. Then you will have a fair chance of scoring around 280 to 300. Yeah. Sir, I will take one more question. I think it's already.
या तो डिनर टाइम भी तो हो गया होगा।
Yeah.
ओके, shall we wrap up?
Sir, if anyone has any other question, just let me know.
Okay. If you डिनर टाइम हो गया, मुझे लगता है नेक्स्ट सेशन में रख लेंगे।
We will take. We will see, sir. If possible, we will take one session only for those who are giving mains just 1 month before.
हाँ, गिविंग मेंस, और उसमें इंटरेक्शन रखेंगे। ये जो चॉइस ऑफ क्वेश्चन है, इस पे मैं भी कुछ प्रिपेयर कर लूंगा।
Yeah. We will take one more
है
session.
ना। एंड आई विल गिव यू सर्टेन स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम द स्टूडेंट्स जो कि मेंस दे रहे हैं।
We will keep that short, not like 2 hours.
या
And one
definitely.
thing, see, whoever you have given prelims, whether you are giving prelims this year, whether you are qualified or not, you have taken this optional. Do it thoroughly. Do it thoroughly to the extent that should be very satisfied with the kind of preparation you have, whether you are giving or not. Don't do anything with half-hearted. That will never yield any result, especially in chemistry. That will not yield any result. So, with all the heart, try to ensure that your preparation is very thorough. I think most of the parts I have covered regarding previous year questions, your short notes, your test series, and everything, and even the exam day. Think about these things after the session. Most of the answers are with us only. Don't need to. There is no need of looking answers everywhere. My answers are, these are the answers that I have understood. These are not something that I was told. I took help, that's for sure. I took help from Rahul sir, I took help from Shine. There is a friend called Pradeep, even he helped me. But the thing is, you should never hesitate to take help, that's for sure. If you want something, don't waste time unnecessarily. Didn't get you're unable to solve a reaction. Okay, try like 2 to 3 times. Okay, 20 minutes, done. Then post it in the group or ask sir, whoever you feel confident that he can help us in this doubt. Okay, this thing. So all I wanted to say is, all the very best. Do with
Yeah.
positive mindset and good self belief. That is very, very important. Self belief is the most important thing, because every question can create a doubt in our mind whether we will be able to solve the next question or not. Sometimes some questions, not every question need to be solved. Okay, even see, I'm saying my even in my best attempts, it like sometimes 400 to 420 to 440. So I'm leaving like 80 marks, 60 marks on both the papers. That is fine, right? We are scoring 300. Okay, if you leave another 20 marks, fine. You can go till 290, 280. Another 15 marks, so 270. Even 270 is a very good score, I would definitely say. See, look at the scores of other optionals. It's not easy to score such 270 plus and all in other options. It is very difficult in some optionals, no matter what. So if you have that kind of like self belief and you are very committed, you can. I think you can definitely score. But one thing is that understand your strengths in this, and understand your weaknesses. Try to work upon them. Never hesitate to take help. Wherever you get the knowledge, take the knowledge, but don't waste time. Keep some boundaries for your time in which you are giving for chemistry and GS. Okay. I wish you all the very best, guys.
In
Thank
the
you.
next session also, Bhargav, we will also touch upon the area of balancing the GS with the chemistry option.
So I think
In the
I
next
may
session.
not be the right person to do that because my GS score is
Okay.
not so good. But all I wanted to say is, you can
I
do this.
think we can pull in the Jaswant.
Yeah,
You know,
maybe Jason can help.
just
Absolutely.
yeah, Jaswant and you also.
Yeah, I will try to cover
At
the.
least balancing the time
Yeah,
and
balance.
how to organize the test series
Yeah.
of optional and the GS. We will focus on that. That will help immensely the upcoming mains student.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir, I think it's better we end the session.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Good
Thank you,
night.
Shan.
Good night. साइन
Okay.
दो टूक बोलना है वो कुछ
No, I think it is already, Bhargav has already covered things. So we'll take it up later if anything specific comes, maybe later on.
ओके
Okay,
ओके
thank you, Shine. Thank you,
ओके
sir. Bye, sir.
चलो बाय बाय टेक केयर यू कैन लीव आई विल टेक सम क्वेश्चंस किसी को कोई क्वेश्चन अगर हो तो पूछ सकता है ओके आई थिंक वी आर गुड टू गो तो मैं इसको रिकॉर्डिंग डाल दूंगा यूट्यूब पे और टेलीग्राम पे भी रहेगा 2027 प्रतीक्षा या 27 के लिए आपको क्या पूछना है जस्ट अ मिनट प्रतीक्षा यू कैन कनेक्ट विद मी ऑन द माय नंबर वी विल डू दैट ओके 27 के लिए यही प्लान करना है कि अभी दिसंबर तक का अच्छे से आप जो है टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करोगे ठीक है जिन लोगों ने कोर्स कंप्लीट कर लिया चाहे डायस के थ्रू या सेल्फ स्टडी से वो लोग टेस्ट सीरीज से अलाइन होकर प्रिपेयर करें और जिन लोगों ने अभी प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट की है फर्स्ट कंप्लीट द सिलेबस डोंट गो फॉर द टेस्ट सीरीज ठीक है फॉर श्योर
So test series के अलावा answer writing कर सकते हैं because I saw the test series, it's very compact for me, like personally मुझे ऐसा लगता है
फर्स्ट पहले तो टेस्ट सीरीज तो लास्ट में आना चाहिए पहले पीवाईक्यू और सिलेबस पे कमांड होना जरूरी है ठीक है टेस्ट सीरीज इज नॉट द सोल्यूशन the first thing is you have to master the PYQ and the syllabus तो PYQ and syllabus जो है वो बेसिक्स है बिल्कुल वही bedrock है of your preparation all right then comes other thing test series and everything test series का देखो पर्पज क्या है it's not like a guest paper it's like you have to plan your revision according to the test series. सपोज करो अगर तुमने थर्मोडायनेमिक्स रिवीजन टेस्ट शेड्यूल में है, देन यू विल रिवाइज ना एटलीस्ट ट्वाइस बिफोर अटेम्प्टिंग द टेस्ट. और अगर 2 बार टेस्ट हो रहा है तो यू विल बी एबल टू रिवाइज एटलीस्ट 4 टाइम्स दैट पर्टिकुलर चैप्टर. तो टेस्ट सीरीज आपको रिवीजन में हेल्प करता है और आपको वो शॉर्ट नोट्स के लिए कंपेल करता है. इट बिकम्स वेरी इनएविटेबल फॉर यू टू मेक those short notes which is desirable for the last moment. Otherwise you will not be able to maintain the balance between GS and chemistry. और बहुत ही देखो, बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स मत करो. मेरे हिसाब से चॉइस ऑफ क्वेश्चन हो गया या बैलेंस हो गया, आप सबने सेमेस्टर एग्जाम दे के आए हो, जो भी आपने ग्रेजुएशन किया या आप बोर्ड एग्जाम दे के आए हो, तो उसी तरह से इस एग्जाम को भी लो. डोंट कॉम्प्लिकेट थिंग्स.
I think it's the fear that complicates everything.
Yeah, the fear
कुछ ज्यादा
mongering
ही
by the
आपको
coaching institutes.
इतना
Yeah.
बड़ा चढ़ा के रखा है.
या बिल्कुल सही बात. आई टोटली एग्री. जो फियर क्रिएट हो रहा है या जो कुछ टॉपर्स इस तरह से पिक्चर पेंट करते हैं कि यू हैव टू नीड टू बी वेरी परफेक्ट, दैट्स अ मिथ. दैट्स द बिगेस्ट मिथ वन कैन हैव. आई डोंट बिलीव
Sir,
सो, एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द selected students also don't concur with this view.
सर एक क्वेश्चन था एक्चुअली मेरा. 2026 में शायद लाइकली मैं मेंस लिखूं, तो उस रिगार्ड में ये था मेरा पेपर 2 का. सर मेरे रिवीजन नोट्स एंड ये सब रेडी हैं. पेपर 1 में कुछ क्रूशियल टॉपिक्स हैं जैसे थर्मोडायनेमिक्स एंड इलेक्ट्रोकेमिस्ट्री. इनका मतलब मेरा केमिस्ट्री में बैकग्राउंड रहा है, मैंने इनको पढ़ा है अपने मास्टर्स के समय, बैचलर्स के समय, मगर यूपीएससी स्पेसिफिक करके मैंने सिर्फ इनके पीवाईक्यू देखे हैं. तो अब जब मैं मेंस को टारगेट करके पढ़ना चालू करता हूँ, जैसे मैं टेस्ट सीरीज का शेड्यूल देख रहा था, तो उस समय मैं क्या सिर्फ पीवाईक्यू बेस्ड जो सवाल हैं 10 साल के या 15 साल के, बस उन्हीं टॉपिक्स को, उन्हीं कॉन्सेप्ट्स को रिविजिट करना बेटर होगा, या फिर मुझे थोड़ा समय दे के इन टॉपिक्स पे पूरा मतलब स्क्रैच से देखना चाहिए एक बार,
देखो
क्योंकि
अभी
उसमें
क्या
थोड़ा
है,
सा.
यू हैव वेरी लिटिल टाइम. और इलेक्ट्रोकेमिस्ट्री इटसेल्फ अगर तुम पढ़ने बैठोगे तो 15 दिन ले लेगा वो.
जी.
ठीक है, तो अभी के अटेम्प्ट के लिए तो मैं रिकमेंड नहीं करूंगा कि तुम इलेक्ट्रोकेमिस्ट्री जैसे वास्ट टॉपिक को पढ़ो. इंस्टेड व्हाट यू कैन डू, you can bifurcate those chapters into 3 parts: derivation part, numerical part, and the theoretical part based upon the PYQ itself. ठीक है, 3 में तोड़ लो, थर्मो को भी, इलेक्ट्रो को भी, कोई भी चैप्टर हो फिजिकल का. तो आइदर 3 तरह के सवाल आ रहे हैं. या तो थियोरेटिकल आ रहे हैं, जैसे बैटरीज पे सवाल पूछ देगा, या बोल देगा कि स्टेट थर्ड लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स और उसका एप्लीकेशन बताओ. एक तो या तो ये पूछ रहा है, या तो वो आइसोथर्मल एक्सपेंशन पे कोई न्यूमेरिकल पूछ दे रहा है, कितना वर्क डन है. ठीक है, नर्स लॉ पे पूछ दे रहा है. तो कहने का मतलब ये है कि तुम फिजिकल में जब भी दिक्कत हो किसी भी चैप्टर में, द बेस्ट स्ट्रेटजी टू डिवाइड दैट थिंग इनटू 3 माइक्रो टास्क. पहले सारी थ्योरी तैयार करो, बैटरीज पे शॉर्ट नोट्स तैयार करो, लेड बैटरी पे तैयार कर लो, हाइड्रोजन सेल पे कर लो. तो ये तो थ्योरेटिकल चीजें हैं ना. तो वो पीएसपी से तुम तैयार कर लो. ठीक है, थोड़ा बहुत वैल्यू एडिशन के लिए बस ये कर लो कि उसका एप्लीकेशन या उसका रेलेवेंस करंट अफेयर्स में कहाँ है. जैसे हाइड्रोजन सेल्स में अब हाइड्रोजन ट्रक्स बन रही हैं, हाइड्रोजन कार बन रही है, तो दे गिव इम्पेटस टू क्लाइमेट गोल्स, जो हम सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट की बात करते हैं. तो थोड़ा जीएस का यूज कर लो. तो इस तरह से तोड़ोगे तो मुझे लगता है बेटर स्ट्रेटजी होगी, रादर देन गोइंग फॉर ट्रेडिशनल रूट की तुम पूरी बुक्स पढ़ रहे हो. कर नहीं पाओगे, मतलब फिर तुम्हारा जीएस हैम्पर होगा या एसए एथिक्स हैम्पर होने लगेगा. इट वुड बी बेटर टू प्रिपेयर सेपरेटली फॉर 3 डिफरेंट सेक्शन. सारे पीवाईक्यू ले लो, सारे थियरी तैयार कर लो, फिर सारे डेरिवेशन तैयार कर लो. लगभग 11-12 डेरिवेशन है थर्मो में, उसी में सबसे ज्यादा है.
थैंक यू
ठीक
सर.
है, हाँ, तो ये
सर और
स्ट्रेटजी
टेस्ट
बेटर
सीरीज के
होगी.
रिगार्डिंग आपको टेलीग्राम पे कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं ना?
हाँ, मेरा नंबर भी मैंने शेयर कर दिया है, टेलीग्राम पे भी कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं.
जी थैंक यू सर.
ठीक है, हाँ. डोंट गो फॉर द बुक्स राइट नाउ.
यस, थैंक यू.
एनीथिंग एल्स फ्रॉम अदर्स? निशा, डू यू हैव एनी क्वेरी? वैभवी? ओके. आई थिंक वी शुड रैप अप
यस
द,
सर।
या निशा बोलो।
सर जैसे कि मैंने लास्ट ईयर आपके क्लासेस किए थे, और यानी कि मैंने ऑलमोस्ट सारे क्लासेस किए एक्सेप्ट स्पेक्ट्रोकेमिस्ट्री के 2-3 चैप्टर या 2-3 लेक्चर को छोड़ करके। बट अभी ऐसा हो रहा है कि लग रहा है सारी चीजें भूल चुकी हूँ। मतलब अभी जितनी भी चीजें सुन रही हूँ ऐसा लग रहा है सब कुछ नया है, कुछ कुछ याद आ रहा है बट मोस्टली ऐसा लग रहा है कि सब भूल गई हूँ। तो ये नॉर्मल है या फिर मतलब मुझे।
इसका मतलब ये, पहले तो मुझे तुम ये बताओ, आफ्टर कंप्लीटिंग ऑल दिस चैप्टर्स, क्या तुम उसके टच में रही हो? टच इन द सेंस कि पीवाईक्यू को प्रैक्टिस किया है कि
नहीं
बस
सर,
कंप्लीट करके? हाँ,
प्रैक्टिस नहीं किया, बस क्वेश्चंस देखा था।
अच्छा। हाँ, तो बस इसीलिए कंप्लीट करना शुड नॉट बी द टास्क।
ओके।
कंप्लीट करने के बाद प्रैक्टिस करना इज द मेन टास्क, तभी रिवीजन होगा, तभी कुछ भी होगा। मुझे एक सिंपल से, मैं एक एनालॉजी लेता हूँ, मतलब उसको ध्यान से समझो। सपोज करो टाइम मशीन में बैठी हो, यू आर इन द 6th क्लास। क्या तुम्हें पहले 6th क्लास में जाते ही 20 तक का टेबल याद हो गया था?
नो सर।
कैसे हुआ था, याद करो।
रिवीजन करके बार बार पढ़ के।
और पिटाई खाने, पहले पिटाई लोग खाते थे घर पे, अब वो यूपीएससी में हो नहीं सकता। तो मेक थिंग्स सिंपलर। अब ये को मुझे याद नहीं है, तो मतलब बच्चों वाला सवाल हुआ ना। याद नहीं है तो या तो पापा मम्मी से बोलो मैं मुझे याद नहीं, तो मुझे पीटो। या तो ये तरीका है, या तो एक सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन एक तरीका हो सकता है, या फिर आप टेस्ट सीरीज के थ्रू, टेस्ट सीरीज में एनरोल करके मल्टीपल टाइम्स आप दो। अगले प्रीलिम्स के पहले आप कम से कम 2 बार टेस्ट दो। या अगर टेस्ट सीरीज नहीं ज्वाइन कर रहे हो तो पीवाईक्यू ही उठा लो, 2022 का, 2023 का, 2016 का, उसी को एज ए मॉक दो।
सर इस बार मेंस लिख रही हूँ मोस्ट प्रोबेबली, तो उसके हिसाब
वेरी
से
गुड।
मतलब क्या करना चाहिए अभी मुझे।
देखो, तुम्हें सिंपलर है, जो तुम नोट्स बनाए थे जब तुमने ऑर्गेनिक किया था।
यस सर। यस सर।
तुमने फिजिकल में भी तो लिया था एडमिशन, फिजिकल
फिजिकल
इनऑर्गेनिक।
मैंने क्वेश्चंस भी अटेम्प्ट किए, पीवाईक्यूज भी देखे थे, तो पेपर 1 में ज्यादा इश्यूज नहीं, पेपर 2 में हो रहा था क्योंकि मैं सारे लेक्चर्स कंप्लीट करके सिर्फ पीवाईक्यूज देख करके
देखो,
मतलब इतना ही हो पाया था।
जितनी जल्दी हो सके पीवाईक्यू और अपने नोट्स को आधार बना के चलो, और टेस्ट सीरीज के शेड्यूल को फॉलो करो। दैट्स
ओके।
ऑल। इससे ज्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेट मत करना। बुक और ये सब चीजें छूने का समय नहीं है अभी। बुक में उलझोगी तो फंस जाओगी।
ठीक
किसी
है सर।
पर्टिकुलर चैप्टर के लिए या किसी पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक के लिए आप कर सकते हो, बट नॉट फॉर, डोंट गो फॉर द बुक्स राइट नाउ।
ओके सर।
ठीक है, टेक सम हेल्प फ्रॉम समवेयर। ठीक है। एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? कोई भी ट्रिवियल भी होगा तो चलेगा। किसी को डर लग रहा हो, फोमो हो रहा हो, वो भी पूछ सकता है। आई थिंक रैप अप करना चाहिए। ठीक है, मिलते हैं फिर। ये मैं चैनल पे डाल दूंगा, टेलीग्राम पे भी लिंक रहेगा और यूट्यूब पे भी रहेगा। ठीक है, गुड नाइट गाइस, हैव अ ग्रेट डे। कल अच्छा हो आप लोग का। टेक केयर।